Okay, and we're live. Should Mexican Americans wave a Mexican flag only? Should only wave the Mexican flag? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's. Do you think if you're gonna like fight for rights, right? If you're gonna fight for rights, right, you have to fight for the rights of Mexico. I mean, fight for the rights of the United States. Well, if you're trying to fight for justice, you should be fighting for justice uh for being an American citizen, right? You know, you should be waving both. In my opinion, you should be waving both. That's just facts. You should be waving both. You shouldn't just be waving one. You know, if you're gonna fight for justice in the United States, you gotta represent the American flag. You have to show that you're fighting for justice in the United States, not in Mexico. Like, I'm not saying you can't wave the Mexican flag, but you know, I'm not saying you can't wave the Mexican flag, but you should be waving both. Yeah, you should be waving both. Like, don't just wave. Don't just wave the. Okay, so yeah, this just is my monologue that I just came up with this prompt. So and also the protest that was going on in Los Angeles right now. Um, I just saw the Mexican flag. Like, Erasa, what are you doing? Like, what? Why are you? Why are you just waving the Mexican flag? Like, we got to show that we're American citizens too. Like, we pay taxes. We're citizens. At the end of the day, we pay taxes and we're citizens. Like, MLK and all these peaceful protests. Even Cesar Chavez recognized that he was Mexican American, and he created his own flag, his own Chicano flag, that was distinctive for his group, for his movement. You know, like, it was the eagle, right? In the background, the white circle in the background is all red. That was Cesar Chavez. At least everybody knew. At least in the 60s, white Americans knew that, okay, that's a distinctive flag. That's a distinctive flag. And yeah, it's based around being Mexican American. American, hey, American. And not only that, but he also waved the American flag too. So, like, you shouldn't be like burning the Mexican flag. You shouldn't be doing all this stuff. You should. You should. I'm not saying you can't wave it, but you should wave. You have to wave both. We are not violent. We are not violent protesters. We are trying to be peaceful. At least that's just what I'm promoting. I'm not gonna speak for everybody because I'm Mexican American. This is a Mexican American discussion here. You dig? And yeah, in my opinion, you should be waving both the Mexican and the American. You have to wave both. And if you don't have that Mexican flag on you right now, just make sure you have the American flag. Just wave the American flag. If you don't have your Mexican flag on you, just wave the American. But you have to wave both at the end of the day. You want to show that you're American citizens and you want justice, you want immigration reform. You want immigration reform. You want amnesty for yeah, you want amnesty for all Latino immigrants because we are indigenous. I agree. I just saw this picture on the internet. Like this is a public picture. This is a public picture. It's a prompt. This is when Mexican Americans protesting against ICE for the first time, and they started like going on the streets. But yeah, like I was saying, like we have to wave the American flag. For me. I'm gonna speak for myself personally. We have to wave the American flag. Like we can't show that, because and then like the white tea colonizers, right? The white tea, the system's gonna see us as like literally invaders, like as aggressive, hostile. If we just wave the American flag, this is just my opinion. I'm just stating my opinion. Um, yeah, I'm just stating my opinion. This is what I think. Um, we have to constantly quote the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, recognize that we are citizens. We are law-abiding citizens, and we want justice. I agree with the boycotts. We should certainly keep on doing the boycotts, and we should we should certainly keep on doing the boycotts, and do peaceful protests. Boycott Coca-Cola. That's cool. That's cool and all. I don't promote. I believe in peaceful protest. I don't know. I do not promote violent protests at all whatsoever. Nor do I condone any kind of racism. We got to quote the Constitution. All men are created. All men are created equal. Um, yeah, all men are created equal. Uh, we got to quote the Constitution. We also yeah, the Bill of Rights. We got to, hey, I'm a human being. I'm a human being too. The Bill of Rights apply to us. It applies to everyone. It applies to immigrants, uh, and undocumented immigrants. Because if you are under the United States, right? If you are within the borders of the United States, you are subject to the Constitution of the United States. So that means the Bill of Rights are applied to you. That means you have to have everybody has a right of due process. Yeah, everybody has a right of due process. Um, yeah, we're humans. We should be treated. The message we're trying to get across is that we want to be treated as first class citizens. Hold on, let me. Stop. Okay, so wait, hold up, lady. I'm gonna make you mod because we got a lot of trolls here. We got spammers. Um, we got a lot of spammers here. I'm really am uh antagonizing a lot of people. um, yeah, I just wanted to do this live. I had to because this prompt was just so. It just popped in my head. This prompt is genius. Like, what should we do? What should us Mexican Americans do? Pull up on the Pull up on the request up. The guest. I'm accepting guests. What should us Mexican Americans do? Because in my opinion, we have to waive at least both. Like, yeah, I agree. We have a Mexican heritage. Um, and if you want to recognize that heritage, yo yo yo.
Yo, what's up?
So where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm from Cali.
Okay, so are you aware of the protest that's going on and that just went on today?
Yeah, but I'm not fully aware of what's going on.
So apparently,
Uh,
like in San Diego or something, there's like a bunch of like fully armed up, like soldiers, like, and they're portraying themselves as the agents, and they did like a whole raid on like on a sweatshop or something, on a factory, and that yeah that ain't and that antagonized a bunch of locals, and they all like started to go on the streets and protest, and that protest continued till like 12, I would say, 12 in the morning. Because right
oh,
in
you're
California right now
referring
is
to ICE,
because
right?
I'm in California, because I'm in LA County. Yeah, I don't think you can say just say the Asians. Don't
Oh,
say the
okay, okay,
yeah yeah. TikTok is super strict. So yeah, so that's
okay.
what happens. And then I've seen the lives on TikTok of Mexican Americans protesting, and I literally just saw the Mexican flag. I did not see the American flag, and I think we need to wave both
Oh, okay. Uh,
because
I, I s-
we are law-abiding citizens. We pay taxes, and we want to send that message that we want to be treated as first-class citizens in the United States.
oh, okay, but I think,
Predatory, really?
but I don't think it's like
But it
I
was
don't think the
British.
issue is
I
like
think
whether
it's
or
the
not it's a
Commonwealth,
flag,
and they
right? I
have some
think
sort of agreement
it's
with New Zealand.
it's
I don't
more
know.
of
I
the
heard something somewhere. They still have.
Wait, what was that?
I don't think the issue is whether or not someone is waving a flag. It's whether or not do you support these protests, or do you support what ICE is doing? I don't think it matters what flag you're waving.
I think it does because I mean, what's your goal? What do you want? What's your policy? What policies are you pushing? Do
What,
you just want
what,
to kick out the agents? You want to kick out the agents and that's all? Like that's your
wait,
goal? Like you want to kick them
who's
out of San Diego? Like for me personally, I want immigration reform.
who's
I
advocating
want
for
to be
that?
treated as a first class citizen. I want my people, Raza, to be treated as first class citizens, regardless if you're undocumented or documented. Because we're also getting racially profiled because we look, we look the same. We're the same
Who's
people.
who's advocating for kicking out the Asians?
What does that have to do with anything?
No, but I thought that's what you heard. That's what you said. I was like, that's why I'm confused.
Why are you talking about? Okay, so Asians are not getting mass deported. Like, how is that? How can you compare the both?
No, I know you brought that up. You said that's why I'm
No,
confused.
I didn't. I'm talking about Mexican
Okay,
Americans
I'm
only,
sorry.
because
Okay,
we know we're citizens and we're the ones on the streets, for the most part. This is the Mexican American prompt. So I'm speaking about Mexican Americans. Okay,
hmm
so hold on, I'll get back to you. I got new people on the prompt. Okay, so Ivan, I know you. What do you have to say to the prompt?
I'm with you on that, man. Like, if people are going to protest, they should come across as trying to, be part of our great country, like part of the being integrated. If you're just waving around the Mexican flag, yeah, we know the intent behind the protest, but what are you doing? You're just saying like all you care about is Mexico, which is a country you're not currently living in. You want to come across as like you're
Yeah, you're
connected
gonna.
to your roots, but you're also an American and you're proud of being American too. That's the message they should be pushing. I mean, I know that right now everybody's pissed off, including myself, because of what we're seeing on the news about the agents going to courts or to like people working, hardworking people, and just trying to uh, catch them to deport them, so that way they hit their numbers. They're not really targeting the criminals like they've been saying. So that's why people are upset on and are standing up against this, which is fine because people should have the right to do that. But I think it'll be a stronger message if they show the fact that they're proud of being Americans too and wave both flags together. I think that will have more weight than just the Mexican flag.
Yeah, I agree. We gotta waive both. Because our goal, like, again, we gotta like focus on the policies. Like, what demands do we have? We have to let the government, the U.S. government, let them know our policies and demands. What do we want? You know.
We want integration, and it also shows that their awareness. If you're just waving around the Mexican flag, then I'd be, oh yeah, it's like they don't care about our country. But if you're waving the American flag with the Mexican flag, and you're saying I want integration, no deportation, just by yelling that itself, I think that would carry a lot more weight.
Oh, definitely. We will come off less aggressive, less hostile. Like we're actually trying to make changes. We are recognizing that we are U.S. citizens. We are law-abiding citizens. We pay our taxes. You know, we want justice. We want freedom. You know, all men are created equal. We want freedom. So, um, works is. What do you have to say to the prompt? Worksters.
Hey man, can you give me a second?
Okay, we'll get back to you. Wom, do you have anything to say to the
Yo,
prompt?
what's up? What's up?
Oh, you're back. Yeah. Do you want to respond to the prompt? Worksters, are you there?
Sorry, man. Hold on. Give me a second, bro. My bad.
Okay. Well, are you just doing something real quick, like in a few seconds? But yeah, like again, like
Yeah.
we're law by citizens. We want to be treated as first class citizens. We want justice and freedom. You know, for me personally, my demands, what I recommend is, you know, immigration reform. You know, we're getting Mexican Americans are getting racially profiled as well. You know, we look like, you know, Mexicans from Mexico, so they're gonna like harass us and try to make us feel. They're gonna try to make us feel inferior. You know, these agents are gonna come at us and try to make us feel inferior. They're gonna harass us. They're gonna like mad dog, and you give us a look, and it's like they're gonna like, you know, they're gonna squint and like question our who we are. Like, are we citizens or are we not? You know, that's dehumanizing. You know, like what do you? So we're all affected by this. You know, so we need immigration reform. Um, Amnesty for all undocumented Mexican immigrants. Cause I'm Mexican. We should. Yeah. Right now, I'm just speaking for Mexicans. We can later on. We can speak on for like in general for Latinos. I mean, actually, I'm for Latino as well because you know we're all indigenous. I'm from indigenous community. Um. So
The
like,
other issue I have is the messaging they're pushing, bro, because in reality, they are deporting less than the previous administration, but it's just the messaging, what we've seen on the news when they're going after hardworking people, when they're deporting mothers who have kids that have cancer. Like, that's what's hitting us in the heart, and we're not liking that.
Yo, so what's going on with Asians? What happened?
yeah, I agree. Like, we need yeah, immigration reform. We need what else out there? What other demands? Big demands, right? Amnesty for undocumented Mexicans or Latino that are here in the United States. Reparations for the damage that they have done by with these unlawful, you know, unjustifiable deportations, because that destroyed lots of families, separating, you know, children from their parents. You know, that's traumatizing for the children. Like the children, you know, they're gonna suffer from PTSD. They're gonna suffer from, you know, mental illness. You know, that's traumatizing. So yeah, reparations for all the damage they have done to all the immigrant families. Um, so works is,
Yo,
yo, what's up? You there?
what's up, man?
So yeah, what do you have to say to the prompt?
I didn't even know this was like an issue.
Well, it is because uh, again, like we are USA citizens and we want justice and freedom and we are U.S. citizens, and it's just gonna look bad to the U.S. government if they see that we're just waving the Mexican flag. Like, it's a bad message. Like, we're coming off as hostile and aggressive, and that, how is that productive? That's super counterproductive in my opinion, because we look like invaders. That's just a fact, whether we like it or not. Like, oh,
Yeah,
and
but that's
also when we just speak Spanish, like, we gotta show we're bilingual as well. We're assimilating to the culture. There's
Does it
nothing wrong.
matter? Does it matter if it offends the government?
Yeah, because I'm personally for peaceful protests. I'm about the policies and the demands to be met. And if we're not gonna get those demands and policies met by the government, or agreed upon by the government, if we literally just look like invaders.
So we shouldn't protest if it offends the government.
No, I'm not saying that. You have your freedom of speech. You
so you
can you
want to
can.
let the
I'm just
government.
saying, what I personally think is we gotta show that we are U.S. citizens. We are proud to be Americans as well. Like, I'm not saying you can't wave the Mexican flag. I'm just saying you gotta wave both. If you want to wave the Mexican flag, then you gotta make sure you got that American flag right beside it, or
So
I mean,
wear
so
the
like,
double,
what's
wear the splitted flag, wear the
so
splitted
only
flag,
people
right?
who are proud to be Americans should be able to protest, right?
Not necessarily, because I'll be against the Constitution. Like, I don't. I'm just saying what I recommend for Mexican Americans to do, because I'm Mexican American too. And what I personally think about this issue is we gotta weigh both equally. We want to be treated as first class citizens, um, and make sure we get our immigration reform. Make sure we get that amnesty for all undocumented Mexicans and Latino immigrants that are here in the United States. Those are my policies that I want to be agreed upon by with the U.S. government.
That's why I think I originally said, like, I don't think it matters, right? Whether or not you wave the American flag, you wave the Mexican flag. I think it's all.
yo? So like, what's the
Why
First
why
Amendment of the
why are you like
Constitution,
an
bro?
anarchist or something? Like, F the
No, I'm not.
government? Like, I don't care
Wait,
about
how
the
how
United States.
how
I'm gonna
how
be
is not
radical.
wanting?
I'm gonna be violent. I'm gonna be all
Yo,
Wait,
this.
man,
how'd you
hold
get
on,
all
dude.
that from not wanting to wave a flag? How'd you get all that? I'm just curious.
Because that's the message you're sending.
How
Technically,
am I sending that message?
if you're openly just screaming Spanish, if you're screaming Spanish, monologues on the streets and just waving the Mexican flag, then, like, like, you guys are showing you don't want to assimilate to the American culture.
No, but the
That
whole
sounds a little.
issue,
That sounds a little racist, to be honest.
but the whole
Dude,
original point
most
that
of the
you had
average
brought
per
this.
capita, the average American speaks English.
That sounds
Like,
racist
you
as
have to
fuck,
be.
bro.
How is that racist? There's nothing wrong with being bilingual. I never said like, you
Like this,
can't
so
speak
this,
Spanish.
you
I'm
know, this
just
has
saying,
been a problem.
if you're gonna be an activist and try to and want to be treated as a first class citizen under the United States government,
This has been
then you
always
have to
been a
show that you're
problem.
bilingual. You know English, and
Dude,
you also love the
But the
American flag. I'm
Constitution
not saying you
doesn't.
can't wave the Mexican flag or speak
dude,
Spanish.
But
dude,
there's
this has always been a problem between Mexican Americans and Mexicans, bro. Like Mexican Americans always want to judge Mexicans and shit, bro.
and the
Who's
Constitution gives
judging
us the right.
paisas,
What?
man?
We're
I don't know where
affected
you
by
got
this
that.
too. Wait, what? We're all under the
They
umbrella
always
of
be
being
like,
affected
"Oh,
by
it's an
this.
English country." Like, what?
Are the agents,
All
bro?
right,
They're
get out
coming
of here
for
with
all
that,
of us.
man.
We
Yeah, the
literally look
Constitution
like
gives
the
us
Mexican from Mexico. If we
the
don't open our mouth,
Constitution.
they're gonna think we're one of them.
The Constitution gives us the right to free speech. We could speak any language that we want to, any language.
Yeah, I
English is
agree.
not.
I never
English
disputed
is not
that.
mandatory.
I never
What that's
said.
what you're saying though. You said we needed
I
to
no.
speak
What I'm saying is
the
that I'm just saying
language.
what I suggest for us to do. What I suggest is that we should just embrace that we're also assimilated to American culture, because that shows that we're more.
Well, here's the situation. In reality, the
We
people
got
that are
Mexican Americans who
protesting,
fought in the military. Ivan is one of them. Like, what do you?
the reality is the people protesting are people like us, Mexican Americans. It's not the Mexicans, man. So what we're saying
Yeah, I
is,
agree.
if you're protesting, you're a Mexican American. You understand the laws. You understand how things work here. You know how to communicate. So be effective with your communication. That's all we're saying. We're not saying you shouldn't wave the Mexican flag. Yeah, you could, We're just, in our opinion, we think it'll be more powerful. It'll be more for pushing for integration instead of the deportations that are happening. So, me that I've been in this country all my life and I'm very tied with my Mexican roots, I would suggest to do that. I'll wave the Mexican flag and the American flag and push for integration
Yeah, I
for my
agree.
people to have an immigration reform. That's all that's being said here. We're not trying to tell you don't be proud of your roots, don't wave the Mexican flag, and we understand people are still going to do it. But I think it'll be more effective if we push for integration, waving both flags together. Because whether we like
Man,
it or not, we live in America, in the United States of America, Northern America, or North America, or fucking USA, however you want to call it. Um, and we're taking advantage of the benefits of this beautiful country, and we're all in it together. We're a community, so we have to push for that. Let's not be divided. And I know it looks like we're divided. We are divided, but we should be pushing for integration. And how do we do this? We all fall under one flag
hey,
with with
look at the comments,
deep
bro. This
ties
dude's saying,
with our roots.
look at the comments. What this dude saying? His name is Omar. He's
Bro,
fucking
stop reading
Spanish,
the
and
comments.
he's
Ignore them.
attacking. He's attacking another Spanish woman. Like how like the torta with the flag don't even know a few
Spanish. What do
branches
you
of
mean
government. Come
Spanish?
on,
Bro, she's
bro.
Mexican. She's Mexican
Bro,
American.
like he's
She's on
just
the
making an
street.
assumption based
Bro,
off of
stop
her looks,
responding
bro.
to the comments, bro. We're on the
You're always
panel.
gonna have people that are gonna troll, bro. Like
Yeah,
we have to be
it's just,
better
there's
than
always
that.
trolls, bro.
We have to be better than that. We have to be focused on the big picture, and we have to strive for unity, man, because that's what's gonna get us somewhere. Hate, division, and just trying to alienate ourselves—that's not the way forward.
But isn't that like what like what's wrong with waving the Mexican flag, man? Like what's wrong with
There's
that, bro?
nothing
Nothing
wrong with
You
wrong
that.
with
got
it.
murals in LA with
I love them too.
Mexican
There's
flags.
nothing. I have the
I
Aztec
Yeah,
don't.
count
no.
tattoo on my
Like,
arm, bro.
are you not listening, man? Like, we didn't say you can't wave there. You shouldn't be waving the Mexican flag.
I
Just
said what's wrong
relax,
with
fool.
it. I didn't say you can't do
There
it.
ain't nothing wrong with it. We're just simply
Nothing wrong.
saying let's wave both, man. If you want to say, listen, I don't even like the United States. I want to see this country fucking crumble. I would commit treason against the United States. If somebody gave me a sweet deal, I would commit treason against this country, man. But I'm
What the
saying
hell, bro?
we gotta play the long game, man. We gotta play the long
Yep.
game. We gotta think strategically here. If we want the Anglo, right, the average Anglo American, to be on our side, we gotta give them a few crumbs, and if that means waving a flag to a country that's never given a rat's ass about us, so be it, man. It's just you're just waving a flag. We're not waving the flag doesn't necessarily mean we're pledging loyalty to this country. It just means we're giving them some crumbs. We're playing it into the system so that we can stay here, man. It's not that hard to understand. Fuck.
You're not making any sense whatsoever. You're talking about
Yeah,
No, I
crumbs. I'm talking about
absolutely
committing
am. I'm
treason.
saying I'm
What the
saying you
hell's wrong
gotta
with
play
you?
the game.
who are
You
you
gotta
referring
play the
to?
game of the
Yeah, we
Anglo
How is
gotta play
that
the
Saxons. Yeah,
long
internet?
game.
absolutely. It's all
You sound
optics,
like you're
man.
plotting
It's
against the
Well,
United
it's
States.
optics. I am playing
What?
against the
But
United States.
wait, are you
You got
Mexican
you know
American?
that treason.
Dude,
I
If you have
am.
two or more,
My
more than
existence,
two
my
witnesses, if you have
existence
more than
as
two
an indigenous
witnesses,
person is opposition to the United States
well,
government. Me
wait, well, I
existing
will
in this
relax on
country
that.
is opposition, bro.
Well, I'll
That's
relax on
bro.
that, but yeah, we are first class citizens. We pay taxes. We want immigration. We want amnesty for undocumented Mexican immigrants. That's what we want,
I want to know who
and
Wap
also
was
for
referring
Latinos.
to
Yeah,
when
Juan, but you better watch
who
what
you
you're saying, bro. Because if you have more than two
hold on, hold on.
witnesses
Wait,
Go
no,
ahead,
who
arrest me. I
you
dare
wait,
you. Go
try to
ahead,
say that
arrest me.
hold
you
on. I
want to
just
commit
want
an
to
act of
Cares?
I just
treason,
want
bro,
to
that's
I
grounds to get
would.
you locked up,
I
man.
I would.
I just want to
No,
ask a
no,
clarified
no.
question to
Let's
Wap.
stick to the
What
prompt.
does
Should
what does he
Mexican
mean when he
Americans
says give them a
just
couple
wait?
crumbs? Like who are you
Just
referring to when you say give
Give
them
him
a
a
couple
couple
crumbs?
crumbs,
To who?
as in we as in the Anglo, this government in which we all live in that is run by fat Anglo-Saxon men. I'm saying we gotta play optics here. We gotta play optics. We gotta win the public opinion of white Americans. And in order to do that, we gotta play in this game called life and wave. I'm not saying we can't wave the Mexican flag. I'm not saying we gotta say we're fucking proud American or any of that patriot, any of that fucking bullshit. I'm simply saying when the cameras are rolling, when we're on the streets, when white folks are watching, wave both flags.
Yep.
By doing that, you are communicating to them whether you believe it in your heart or not. Who cares what you believe in your heart, man? You're communicating to them via optics that this is your country too. You're proud to be in it and that you want to stay. The moment we do that, we will win popular opinion from the white Anglo-Saxons and we'll get
Yep.
change to happen, man. And then, later on, if the United States is crumbling, and we want to assist in its collapse, I'll be the first one to sign up.
I
But
understand what you're
let's
saying, Womp,
play the optics, man. Just
but
give them a
I
few
I'll be the
that
crumbs.
first
kind of
one, and
I
I'll be the first
understand
one
what
to
you're
kick
saying,
your
Womp.
ass.
But hold on, Womp. I understand what you're saying, but
Wait,
I
who
feel like
said that?
kind of
Who
feels
said
like
that? Who gave
selling
that
out.
threat? Was that Jim?
That was Rexers. He said that.
Rexers?
Yeah.
It's so
Wait,
funny,
I
Johnny,
don't
because
fuck.
my name is
I don't fuck
Womp Womp,
around
and
with
I'm a
threats.
Kermit, and
Yeah, I
these
don't fuck
these
around with
people are
threats.
so
I do
like,
not condone violence. TikTok is for educational purposes. I do not condone any violence. So yeah.
they're so intimidated. It's hilarious.
Hello,
It just,
everybody. Can I
that just kind
can
of
I
feels
can
like.
can I say something?
Go
Hello.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all,
Sana, you can go.
thank you. First of all, thank you for allowing me to be up here. Jaguar, I appreciate it. Let me just tell you guys this. To me, more than ever, I think we need to stay united. Mexicans, Chicanos, however you see yourself. We are all one people. It doesn't matter if you just jumped the fence. It doesn't matter if you were born here. I know many of my Chicano brothers, they never jumped the fence. The fence jumped them. And this is what we need to teach people, that we, the Chicano Mexican American community, this is our country. We're not really immigrants like people would like us. We are seen as immigrants when we're not. You know what I mean? Maybe some are, those 11 million or whatever, but for the most part, we belong to this land. Even way, I mean, from 1,000 years ago, and that tells you everything. So the way I see it, yes, the flag, why not wave the American flag? Why not wave the Mexican flag? Let's say I'm waving the Mexican flag, then a brother next to me is waving the American flag. So at the end, it doesn't matter, Jaguar. To me, I see your point. But you know what? I'm going to tell you one thing for sure, though. The good white tea people, the good gringos, they love us for who we are. They don't want us to assimilate and be them. They love us for being Mexican, bro. They love us because they know we're the hardest workers on earth. You know why they love us? Because they love our food. You know why they love us? Because they love our music. But you know what? Who's never gonna love us? The racists, bro. The bigots. Those people that it doesn't matter what we do, we're never gonna do it right. So you know what I mean? F them. And I'm glad they're not the majority. Unfortunately, they're the ones that went out and voted this president we have in office right now, because they went out and voted. We didn't, so we lost. So now we have somebody in office, and I'm not Democrat, but we have somebody in office that he knows that people that are supporting him hate us. So it doesn't matter how many American flags we wave, bro. Those people still hate us, because you know why? They're afraid that we're taking over when we're not. We are just Americans as they are. But is their conscience, bro? We are their bad conscience. When they see a Mexican, they remember that they invaded our territory. We never went to them, bro. They came to us. They came from the north to the south, and they took all this land. That's fine. When I say we, I mean people from Mexico.
So get to the point. What's your policies? What demands you want the U.S. government to abide by?
To keep being ourselves, bro, because it's working. Unfortunately, with this president, it doesn't matter what we do. He's seeing us as a dollar sign, because every person that goes into those private institutions, they gotta pay $208 a day plus a $5,000 bonus. So it doesn't matter. It's money to them. That's why they're attacking our people. But you know what? When this president leaves, he's gone. That's going to slow down. But we
Yeah, I
need to
agree. It'll
continue
definitely
protest.
tone down after he
We need
leaves
to
office.
continue.
Orange Man
Yeah,
leaves
we need to
office, but like,
continue. We need to continue protesting. We need to continue multiplying. We need to continue having babies, loving our Mexican families, showing them who knows how to work. Keep teaching them that we are the ones that know how to raise children. Teaching them that we're the ones that love our wives, that we want to stay together, that we are family people. That's what we need to continue doing. F policies, bro. We just gotta be ourselves, man. We love
well,
family.
we
We
literally pay
love our black
taxes.
community.
If you say F
Yeah.
policies, we're getting exploited, whether we like it or not.
Policy does matter.
Policy does matter, yeah. It's all about policy, you know? Like, literally, historically, the revolutionaries, you know, American revolutionaries, you know, no taxation, no taxation without representation, you know?
I wouldn't use that as reference, but the whole point is I mean, that's the reason why we're organizing. That's the reason why we're out protesting, right? Because we want those policies.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
actually
Wave the American flag. If you want to protest those policies, show that you're also proud to be American. Stop having this insecurity of like saying that you're just Mexican. Like, you're also American. We're Mexican Americans. We were born and raised in America. For some of us, English was our first language. So like, English was my first language. Like, when I
But
speak
for the
Spanish, cuando
haters,
yo hablo
bro,
español, yo tengo acento, obviamente, y los otros me burlan, but like, you know, like, it is what it is. Like, we want
but for the
immigration
racist
reform.
people, it doesn't matter, Jaguar. For the racist people, it doesn't matter how white you become. They still hate you. You know what I mean? So we gotta
Okay, so
focus on
what's wrong with being
ourselves.
bilingual, though? What's wrong with
We
being
gotta
bilingual and
focus.
waving the American flag? What's wrong with knowing a second
No,
language
I
and
see
also
Mexicans
having
doing it,
a
bro.
second flag as part of our
I see
identity? That's
I see
literally that's
Mexicans
the
doing it all
basics of
the time.
American culture. Like, we gotta at least embrace the basics of American identity and know English and wave the American
Bro,
Well,
flag.
it's hard to when America has a long history of, exterminating indigenous people and then pushing out people like us.
Okay, so if you're gonna make that excuse, what's
Mexican
your
American
policy?
citizens were deported in the
What policy do you want to
1950s.
push then? What policy
You
do you
Right,
guys
know,
want to push to
reparation.
so that's why a
go?
we
lot of
gotta
people
agree
don't
that we're
associate with
not
the
the
No,
American
problem,
flag because there's a
Jaguar.
long history of genocide. And then,
I
and like I just
I
said, Mexican Americans were literally deported in the 50s.
I
I
Mexican
get
get
it.
Americans weren't
Yes, I
citizens.
get
I
it. We
get
were
it.
We gotta agree
I think
desegregated.
you're
that we're
Yes,
not
missing
I
the
the
get it. We were
point,
problem.
though.
segregated and oppressed. We were lynched. We were all
We
these things. But what policies? Okay, so what policies are we pushing, and how are we gonna get those policies agreed upon with the U.S. government?
Bro, as long
It's
as we
it's not going to
understand
happen
we're
with
not
this
the problem.
government,
Not with that
but
We
yeah,
are
mentality.
not
obviously
the
we also
problem.
What I'm
every
suggesting is that we learn English and we embrace English and also we wave the American flag. I'm not saying stop speaking Spanish
so
or stop waving
assimilate.
the Mexican flag. I'm saying we gotta wave both. That's my
And
point.
did you
So we
but did
can
you know
show
that more
that we
Mexicans
respect their sovereign state, their constitution, and that we are also part of that. We pay taxes. We are law-abiding citizens, and we pay taxes. We want to be treated as first-class
Yeah,
were
but
citizens.
you're
All men
acting
are
like we have
created
to
equal.
assimilate in order for us to be accepted.
We can't
bro, we're
be
learning
these
English.
hostile. We can't be
When you say
hostile
we gotta learn
100%.
English,
That's just impractical. Like, you're asking
No,
for
by
them
assimilate, I mean
to
the culture. I'm not
not
saying
hear
not
us
speak
out.
English. Like, what's the point of waving the American flag?
To show
I
them
don't think
that
I don't
we
think
want
it's the
to
end all be all.
negotiate. We want to
it's how
have
we
peace
vote,
talks.
Yeah,
not
but the American flag isn't the end all be all at the end of the day.
We want to have peace talk because
You think that got us DACA?
we already getting rid of
Waving
their
the American
economy.
flag didn't get us DACA.
These boycotts are.
That wasn't the sole reason.
yeah, it's how we vote. It's how we get out there, man. I mean, we are
Look, you don't
learning
have to eat
English.
hamburgers or eat American food. No, just learn English and wave the American flag along with the Mexican. That's
Oh,
all
but
I'm
like
saying.
waving the American flag isn't the end all be all. Is what I'm trying to tell you. You get so organized without waving that flag.
I disagree. That's too radical. That's too radical. We're gonna look like
How is
invaders.
that radical,
Yeah,
dude?
because the Mexican flag is literally a country. Wave the Chicano
Bro, it's
flag.
just
What happened to
it's
Cesar
just showing
Chavez and the
solidarity
Chicano
with our
flag?
people.
Wave
That's
that
it. Every
flag.
protest that
Why
I
are
go
we
to,
waving
I
the
don't have any
Mexican
problems
flag?
with
Let's wave the
people.
Chicano flag. Let's rep the Chicano eagle. And the
But do you
American
think the
flag.
Mexicans?
Cesar
I'm just
Chavez
telling you,
wasn't
waving
waving
the
the
American
Mexican
flag
flag. He
isn't
was
the end all
literally
be
waving.
all.
Look at the documentaries and the images. They were waving they created their own flag. But
Okay,
how
cool.
is this
That's fine.
radical?
That's fine, but I'm just letting you know it's not the end all be all. We're not gonna lose anything
Of
if we
course it's
don't
not, but
wave
I'm just
it.
saying these are good little details we should add in our movement,
I
our
know, but that's like a very
anti-Asian
liberal.
movement,
Oh,
to get heard out by the U.S. government, to get heard out so they can hear us
You
out.
know what's a concern for me, bro? More than waving flags, there's a bigger concern for me. This is what it is. As a Mexican from Mexico, you cross the border, right? You don't speak the language, but then you look at your brothers that are Chicanos for leadership, and we ain't got shit. Those of us that don't even speak Spanish, where are we in politics? We have accomplished a lot as Chicanos, but the Mexicans need to understand and learn that we haven't done enough. They notice that. They're the ones that get their little elotes and then they have a restaurant. It's not us Chicanos doing it. It's the Mexicans doing it. So we need to embrace Mexicans how they are, because you know what? They're crossing the border,
Yeah, I
not
agree,
speaking the
but we're still the
language.
same
We should
people.
have gone. Wait, Jaguar. Let me tell you this. We should be the ones, the doctors. We should be the attorneys. We should be. It shouldn't be the Cubans in politics leading the country. It should be Mexicans, because we are 40 million in this country, and you know what? We Chicanos haven't gone nowhere in politics, man. We're the ones that are behind. We are the ones that have done shit wrong, regardless of what flag do we wave. We Chicanos should have had it easier for our Mexican brothers, but we don't. We
Okay,
just
so
No,
throw
but that's
hate
a
on them.
very liberal way of
And
so
why do you
looking
think
at
that
things.
what
is,
is your
though?
profession against Sanaba, please?
I'm a federal auditor with the federal government. I have a
That's
master's in
good.
business administration from ASU, and I'm telling you, bro, I've traveled all over the
Wait, so you work for the
country.
federal government right now?
That the only problem. This is
I'm a
what happens. Like,
subcontractor.
where
Yeah,
are
I'm
you from?
So you make
Like, what
contracts with
city
the
were
federal
you from?
government.
Like,
Uh,
what
what's that
city
again?
did you
I
come
was
from?
I was born
What
in
city?
Tucson,
Yeah,
but right,
Tucson.
Wait, are they
yeah.
aware you're talking like this? Like,
Talking
Bro,
about
there's
what?
Mexicans who have been
saying
born in
that
the
we
U.S. but
shouldn't
then
learn
got
English
grew
and
up in
wave the American
Mexico.
flag, bro.
Right. So
I'm
you
telling
live in
you that
Tucson,
we
right?
I'm telling you that we Chicanos have nothing to show for, bro.
Yeah. So the thing
Period.
is,
The
where do
black
you live
people
at?
have taken a lot of advantage over us in the movie industry, in
Well,
education,
of course,
in
we've
Okay,
been
so
political
Okay,
pushed.
shit.
we're
I
living the
agree.
present,
I
bro. I
but
agree.
do
get
We've
you?
it.
Here
been
we
Yes,
are
pushed
I
trying,
get
off the
it.
ladder.
and here we are
I'm gonna
trying to
play
teach
devil's advocate
Mexicans
here, Jag,
how to be successful when
if
they're
you
the
don't mind.
ones teaching us.
Yeah, but
They're
the
the
only
ones
problem,
crossing the border,
the
bro.
only thing is that you leave. You leave out of the city to go to a better city, right? Like you're not in Tucson again,
All
right?
right.
Was that?
You're not in Tucson right now, right?
No, I'm in Phoenix.
Listen,
Yeah,
yo,
you're in a
I
better
get it.
you're in a better city now. Like, see, that's the thing. You leave your city, you leave your community to join a better community. That's the reason why we go to square one again. Because we're in a community
Bruh.
right here that we have, like, our school needs to be fixing, but then people leave to better cities, like you just did. You went to Phoenix, so you're paying all your taxes to Phoenix community. You're not going back to Tucson and paying your fair share of taxes to Tucson, because now they're not gonna have any
Bro, why is
affordable
that even
programs.
relevant? You sound like Tucson
I
has
know
decent
that
people.
that is
It
kind of
is.
awkward. I don't know. You're not even asking me when did I move from Tucson. I was 2
Yeah,
months
but
when my
you're
parents
not
moved.
living in Tucson.
Yeah, I'm in LA
Well,
Why
because
does
County.
my
that
parents
matter? How is
moved.
this
You left
relevant?
your
How
community.
can I
It's
live?
simple.
How can I live in a
Dude, dude,
city
dude,
that I not
dude.
even relate to? I was just born there. How
Yeah,
can I go back to a place where I don't got no family? I got nobody.
but
Fair,
your
You
what's
know,
the
community
I,
was
I
relevance?
there.
just
How is that even relevant to the
my
point?
parents
Okay,
were
so
happened to
you're
be there
adjacent to
when
the
I was
U.S.
born.
government. You make
Your
contract. You admitted to making contracts with them. So, like, you know how these people behave and act. You know their conduct. Like, they're not gonna agree with you on this, bro. I'm just, I'm sorry. They're not
Bro,
gonna.
I'm accepted.
If you
I'm
tell them straight in
accepted.
their
You know
face,
why I'm accepted?
I believe you
I'm
should
not
speak
seeking.
Spanish because this used to be Mexican land. Like, it's just impractical, bro. My policy and
I'm
demand
not
is
seeking
gonna be that the
acceptance, bro.
Southwest should be
Look,
Spanish.
Jaguar. Look at
The
this. My
official language in the
self-esteem is
Southwest should be
so
just Spanish because it used to be part of
my.
Mexico. Oh yeah, even though it was sold, sold to them by Santa
What
Anna.
was sold?
The Southwest, Santa Anna lost the war and he just sold it.
Dude, you not even know history then. I mean, come on. It's even in the
Okay,
White House,
okay,
you know.
okay.
It,
So
it's printed what happened. The Treaty of Guadalupe, half of it is true, but it's there. And you know what? The $15 million, they not even paid $3 million, and it wasn't for Mexico. It was for the war and the damages they created when they invaded Mexico. So United States, we never paid for all these 8 states. That's a lie. See, whomever wins the war is gonna write the history.
Okay,
Period.
it was so.
And they like, and when I
Regardless,
sit down and talk to white people that are educated as I am, they know, they get it. It's the ignorant ones that don't. They don't want to see the truth. Or you know what? When you sit down and talk to them, they're like, you know what? It makes sense. We have done all this crazy shit. I mean, ever since the Pilgrims arrived, they know it. They just don't want to talk about history because it's
pilgrims. Oh
painful.
my,
It's hurtful
bro,
to them.
are you racist against white people now? Like,
White. I'm half white. Why should I be racist if I have Spanish blood in me? I'm white. I have all the right to talk about white people because it's half of my ancestry. You know? So how can I be racist against white if I'm half white as a
I mean,
Mexican?
bro, you're talking you're talking like again, you're talking like indigenista from. You're talking
Because
too
I'm
much
well
like
educated.
indigenista, bro.
Because I'm well educated. I'm not
Like,
your typical Chicano that stays halfway through high school, bro. And I'm not insulting you, Chicanos. It's reality, bro. We have the highest dropout rate in high schools, period. So we don't get all the education. And then when we go to a school, we get
Guys,
bullshit education. That's what I audit.
bro, the
That's how
pilgrims
I
is like
noticed.
over
That's how I find
300
out.
years ago. Talking about the
No, it's
pilgrims to
today.
the USA government is like literally so counterproductive, bro. What we should do is do boycotts, more peaceful protests, where we show the American flag and let them
Oh
know
my
what
God.
policies and demands we
Yeah.
want them to.
Can I
Bro,
ask?
we
Can I
Chicanos
ask
need to
a
get in
agree
government, bro. We Chicanos need to get in Congress.
and
We need
enforce.
to vote in our local communities, and
Well,
we're not doing so, bro. We
yeah, I
Chicanos
agree.
have our
We should
self-esteem
elect our
so
people
damaged.
in Congress. We should
We
certainly
suffer
vote in our
from
districts.
low self-esteem, bro.
it doesn't
And
work
one of
out
the
when
reasons, you know
it
why
doesn't
is
work
one of
out
the
when people
reasons?
leave.
Because we don't learn Spanish when we're little. And when you don't learn your mother, your if you can communicate with your grandparents, bro, your self-esteem is damaged.
Uh,
Bro, like again, like you don't have to know Spanish to be Mexican, bro.
Bro,
yeah.
Bro, like
it's
there
an
are
early
lots of
childhood
Mexican
development. Look,
Americans who are like being here for like again the border crossed us. We didn't cross the border. Like they don't know a lick of Spanish. They're Hispanic still because, or yeah, they're Hispanic still because they have a Hispanic surname or last name, and they have a heritage of having from Latin America at some point,
well, it's
few
time to
hundred years
step
back.
up, bro.
So like
It's
you don't
time
have to
to
know
step
Spanish
up.
to be Mexican or Hispanic. That's
We don't have
yeah,
a
that's
language
that's
barrier.
My family's
If you're
my,
not
my
in
family's
the
been here
Chicano
since.
community, I don't know why you're allowed to talk to us. If you're leaving our
Right,
Chicano
man.
community,
yeah.
what right gives you to
Yo soy
talk about us?
bilingüe.
Wait,
I'm
what? What did
bilingual.
you
Like
say?
I have no.
What the hell's going
Like
on?
if you leave the Chicano community, then why are you
What
talking
are you
about us?
talking about? Phoenix has a big Chicano community.
Hell no, I've been to Phoenix
Dude,
all the
there's
time.
Bro, I
Chicanos
live
everywhere in
in
the
Phoenix my
Southwest,
entire
Colorado,
life. What are you
Utah.
talking
Dude, Chicanos are
about?
all in the Southwest.
I
It's supposed to
never
be like
We're
a
heard
all
of
over the
Southwest thing.
place. Why does it even
Phoenix
matter?
Phoenix is pure white people, man. That's the white
We
community.
elected
The
Gallegos
only
here in
Bro, have you?
Phoenix, man. We
Yeah,
white
Yeah,
elected
we should
community.
elect
Gallegos.
more of
That's
our
why.
people
Most of that.
in our districts and
That's not like
have them
it's
push
not
our
like
policies and
LA.
demands in Congress as well. Make sure they vote and do not vote for things that we tell them to do.
Bro, if English is our first language, we don't got no excuse to not be in politics, man. We just need to step it up, bro. Instead of expecting Mexicans or people from Central America to be Americanized, we have to do our homework first. We are the Americans. We've been here for hundreds of years. And for us to not have no leadership, for us to stay behind in education, for us to just, you know, come on, man. We have to step up, man, because I the one thing Mexicans get here, the next year they already have a business. They're moving up in the world without the language. We we don't have a language barrier. What is happening to us? You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. We should worry about ourselves. And it's no hate, bro. It's just frustrating that you want to look up for a good leader, and you expect a Chicano to be our leader, and ever since Cesar Chavez, it's like, Come on, we need
Yeah,
more.
Cesar Chavez was
But then
great
we get
activist.
we divide each
We
other
have
for
that
a
leader. We
flag.
have historical
That's
leaders.
messed up, man.
Cesar Chavez is right there in the front lines
Yeah,
for
and
us.
then we are
Why
divided
are
because
we
of a
waving
flag,
the
waving the
Mexican
wrong flag.
flag? That flag has
Bro,
their own
it's just
constitution.
showing
The
solidarity of the
Mexican flag has
community.
their own constitution,
It's
their own
just
laws, their own
showing
sovereign states.
solidarity.
We need to wave our
It's
Chicano
not what
flag
you
and
think it
American
is.
flag.
It's a representation where
We
majority
look
of
like
people are
invaders.
from.
Look, we look like invaders,
Oh my
bro.
god, dude.
We
It's
shouldn't be
just a
doing this at all
representation
whatsoever.
where
Brother,
where
I'm
you're
telling you, in
from.
the grand scheme of things, that shit doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It's not the end all be all. Like, I don't know why you think it's such a big thing.
I'm just
Waving
saying
the
this.
American
I'm just
flag.
suggesting a few little
No, but
alterations.
waving the American flag didn't get us Obama to pass DACA. You think Obama was like, oh yeah, they're waving American flags, let's pass DACA. Like, it's not the
Bro.
end all be all.
Bro, messages. It's
Our
all about the
people are
message, bro.
our people are
I'm just
organizing.
suggesting a few alterations in our activism. That's all I'm saying.
What? Wait, what'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I'm just saying we gotta make a few like small alterations on our activism.
That's not gonna change the whole. That's not gonna change anything though in terms of the American flag. That's not gonna do anything.
Yes, it is because
As long as
then
we
we're not
keep.
gonna have these white supremacists.
Okay, dude, I just told you right now, we passed DACA without having to do all that crap.
Dude,
Okay?
Obama deported.
Wait,
Dude, DACA, really? Do you think
But I'm
DACA
telling you,
really didn't
Obama.
help?
are
I just
wait, are
told
you
you. I just told you.
flexing
Obama was
DACA?
like, oh,
Really,
You're flexing
DACA?
DACA?
DACA was
Really?
overturned in Trump's first term.
no, I'm saying when it passed initially.
It did,
When
that
it
did
passed
not help.
initially, you think
That did
Obama was
not
like,
help.
oh my god, they're
Dude,
waving
DACA
American
kids are
flags. We gotta
literally
pass
getting
DACA.
deported. They're literally getting deported right now at this very moment.
No,
And they
you're
don't even
not
know a lick of
listening. You're not
Spanish.
listening. I'm not denying that. You're not
DACA
listening.
ruined us. That
Let's
was the
focus.
most counterproductive policy
Listen,
Obama has ever
dude,
passed.
Jaguar, listen
Now
to
we
me.
got Mexican Americans in
Jaguar,
Mexico who don't
listen to
even know
me.
nothing
When it
about
comes to
Mexican
policy, right?
culture in
Okay,
Mexico.
you're gonna listen or not?
This is my life, bro. I'm host. Let
When
me
it comes to
finish.
policy, right? We're talking about policy. When DACA got passed, was Obama like, oh my god, a lot of them are waving American flags. Let's pass it now. You're making it seem like it's the end all be all. It's not, dude. It's not.
So the
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. It's
the
irrelevant.
reason why DACA got passed, as shitty as it was for people, as stupid as I think those people should have been given amnesty. If I were president, I would have pushed
Oh,
for
I agree with
amnesty.
you.
But I think the reason why DACA got passed was at the time the sentiment in this country was that these Mexican American or Latino immigrant children, right, were born in the United States, were not born in the United States, had lived in the United States for so long that they deserved a right to stay. And the reason why, right, that sentiment, right, was let me rephrase this. I'm sorry, it's fucking 2 a.m. in the morning, so bear with me. The reason why DACA passed was because at the time,
That was a Puerto
Mexican
Rican who pushed it,
Americans,
right?
right, but Mexican Americans and Latinos as a whole, who had lived here in the States for most of their lives, did not have negative sentiment against the United States. They weren't perceived as an enemy by those in Congress. Now, I know historically we've been perceived as an enemy, but at that time, through whether that was through the media, whether that was through the protests that we were having, you cannot deny that we as a community, as Latinos, as Mexican Americans, had really changed the narrative, that we were proud to have to be living in the United States, that we were proud of, all this bullshit. I think it's bullshit. That we were basically proud to be Americans in everything but name. And so that's why the bill was passed. And the reason why that sentiment existed was in part to the protests that we were having, where we were
Exactly.
waving
Yes.
the American flag. So I'm
No,
saying
but
we
it had
gotta
nothing to do with the
change.
American
We
flag. Stop saying
absolutely did. We
that.
gotta change the optics. We gotta change the
Yeah,
optics
true.
as Mexican Americans that we are proud to be living in the United States. Now, whether we believe that in our heart, go right ahead. You can secretly hate the United States. I publicly
Yeah,
hate the
you can
United
go ahead.
States.
We're not saying you
But
can't do that,
listen,
but good
so you
luck
can
trying to
secretly hate
be
the
heard.
United States, man. But you got to change the public optics because unfortunately, with the rise of people like Donald fucking Trump, and because of these dumb protesters who do not understand optics, the narrative has changed back to we're the foreigners, we're the anti-American ones. We got to go back to that narrative that existed in 2010, 2007, 2008, 2012, in which we're proud to be living in the United States. And I'm simply saying, when we have these big protests, it's not that hard to understand. When we have these big protests, let's play the optics for the Anglo-Saxons so we can make them feel a little comfortable. We give them a few crumbs, and then eventually, maybe some of these, assholes, well, maybe, I'm not saying they'll side with us, but maybe they won't bitch and complain as much. Maybe they'll be like, wow, those guys are waving the American flag. Maybe they aren't as much of a threat. But when we just wave the Mexican flag, we're feeding into their fears. Let's play optics. Let's play the long game. Don't be ignorant. It's not that
exactly.
hard.
We gotta bait them into our negotiation table.
Yeah, it's a
and
bait
we
and
speak
switch.
together. We say our policies that we want to get passed, like amnesty for all undocumented Latino immigrants, and reparations for all the damage they have done with all these unjust deportations, mass deportations, and so on and so forth. We go on and go on. We make contracts with them. But we got to put in the work first and learn English. We speak English, and we wave the American flag or the Chicano flag. Both, all three of them. The Mexican Chicano flag and the American flag.
It's optics,
you want to know
man.
what I find wrong with
We
your
gotta
argument?
change the narrative.
You know why I find it wrong? Because you have a big Latino community in Florida who voted for Trump, who waved the American flag in fucking Miami. They voted this guy
Puerto Ricans, and Puerto Ricans also wove the American flag. New Yorkers, and
okay,
look at
exactly.
AOC.
But
AOC literally is like what in Congress. She's
okay, but
Puerto
hold on.
Rican.
You're saying that the American flag is like a big part of it, but you had a bunch of Latinos doing it in Florida, and a bunch of them got deported. Trump just took away, I forgot how many visas it was last week. He took thousands of visas away from those people who were waving the American flag.
Yeah, and what makes you think they're going to do it? Yeah, and what makes you think they're going to do it and we're brown? We don't even look like them. What makes you think they're going to cater to us even more?
They're immigrants. They're Latinos. We're not mutually exclusive.
Well, not every Latino is an immigrant, man. Come on.
I'm talking about the immigrants who voted for Trump in Florida. I'm telling you, you guys are arguing that the American flag is a big factor into getting
immigrants. Immigrants can't vote.
A lot of people already did that in
you're
Florida.
talking about the
true.
Cuban citizens who voted for other Cubans who couldn't vote. That sounds horrible. Hold on.
No, but seriously
well,
though.
First of all, let's just get one thing straight. The 500,000 immigrants that just got deported could not vote. They weren't United States citizens. Let's just get that out of the way.
the ones who did
but
vote.
the Cubans who did vote, whether they be their relatives, their community members, yes, I get it. The Cuban community got royally fucked. I understand. And they waved the American flag, and they played the games, right? And their community as a whole, maybe not them because they can't be deported, they're citizens, but the community as a whole got fucked. I understand. I'm not saying that us waving the American flag in these protests is going to stop the deportations. All I'm saying is we got to think in the long run. In the long run, when this fat fuck either unalives, gets taken out, or his term is over, it's gonna be up to us, right, to change the narrative so that when the next administration rolls in, maybe we can get some immigration reform. And going to these protests and just waving the Mexican flag and publicly listen, man, I get it.
You should wear a Chicano flag at this point, bro.
Listen, man, I get it if if your community's not at risk for being deported, to go out and proud and say you fucking hate this country. I get it. This is a shitty country. I can't wait for it to collapse. I hope it happens in my lifetime. I really do. I really fucking do. I can't wait for this country to turn to shit. But until it does, we gotta play the game. It's not that hard to understand.
Yeah.
We gotta be tactical. This is why the bluish people This is why the Asians, this is why the African
All Asians
American
get
community
catered to
is making
substantially.
so many strides is because they know how to play the game. We don't know how to play the game. Get your shit together,
What are we
Chicanos. You're starting
talking
to piss
about?
me off. Play the game.
We gotta play
I'm
the
not saying you
game,
have to love this
long
country.
game,
Play the game.
because yeah, like I mean, Trump, like Orange Man, he was racist towards us Mexicans first. You gotta be honest. Build a wall. That was literally his main policy. Us Chicanos, us Mexican Americans, gotta have the same energy and have that policy. I want a big letrero. I want a big poster that says, "I want amnesty for all undocumented Latino immigrants." Amnesty, amnesty, everywhere, amnesty, amnesty. Stop waving the Mexican flag. Stop. No, no. Like we need policy. We need to push policy. Just like how Orange
Well, you
Man
just
does.
said earlier there was
Orange
something
Man
wrong with
in
the
first
American,
term said,
the Mexican and the American flag.
I want to build a big nice wall at the border that attract
Jaguar,
millions,
can I ask you
and
something?
millions of
Jaguar, can I
United
ask
States
you something?
citizens. He got a huge constituency after that. We gotta do the same. Amnesty, amnesty, amnesty. We gotta get all Latinos
Jaguar.
on the boat. All
You
Latinos.
know how we get amnesty, Jack? We gotta show the white. I'm not saying we gotta believe it in our heart, but we gotta show the white people through optics, through propaganda, that we're proud to be Americans. That's how we get amnesty. We're proud to be living in the United States. Now, I'm not saying we have to technically believe. Listen, man. Listen. Do you really think for a goddamn minute? Do you really think, Jag, that all these successful protests, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say the one in 2007, where Mexican Americans were fighting for immigration reform. Do you really think that every single one of those people at that protest waving the American flag really loved this country? This shithole of a country we live
Of
in? No,
course
they
not.
didn't.
We're playing the
But
long
they
game.
knew
It's all
how to
about playing the
play the
long game.
game.
It's all
Right.
yeah.
They knew how to play the game. And you know what they got? They get in '07, did they get something? No. But a few years later, because they had changed the optics, so they had done these protests, they had convinced and fooled the Anglo-Saxon, they got a few crumbs. So I'm saying, hey, let's do that again. Let's play the optics. Let's wave some flags. Let's tell the white tea people in public we're proud to be part of this shithole of a country. Get some crumbs, and then move on with our lives. I mean, it's just like it's common sense. You gotta play the propaganda game.
Why would you want to settle for
This is what's
crumbs?
Yeah. Okay. So
listen, man. I'm not settling for
Omer.
crumbs, but I'm
You
saying
just said
crumbs
settle
are
for
all
crumbs
we're
and move
going to.
on.
Crumbs are all we're going. When the United States government exists, crumbs are the only thing we're gonna receive. That's just a fact. So let's play the long game here. Let's get some crumbs. Let's get our numbers up. So, 40, 60 years from now, when this country collapses, we can be the ones to take it over. That's all I'm saying, man. Just be fucking strategic.
Yeah, Omer, like, what has waving the Mexican flag and screaming Spanish terms in the streets done for us so far?
Bro, it's just showing solidarity, showing that we're proud to be Mexican, even if you were born in
They're
this.
not,
fucking Christ.
they don't see us like that, bro. They
That's
see us as
it.
invaders. They
See,
literally see
this,
us as
this
invaders.
is why, Jack.
They
This
can
is why,
justify
Jack.
us.
Let them believe that. That's
They
not the
can justify-
case, dude.
This type of mentality,
The-
Jack,
Why should you have
is
to
why
feed
the
it alone?
African Americans
The pressure that
is
they're
why
doing
the
anymore.
African
You should
American community
unapologetically be yourself. Be proud of where your
this
family
is,
came from.
This is why this type
This
of
is why Black
mindset.
Americans have way more.
Right.
Like they're way more productive in politics and in
I have a
activism.
man-
Right.
Way more than
That's
us.
why they had an
They
African
wave the American
president.
flag. Black
African
Americans
Americans
wave
had
the
their history
American flag.
erased.
They are proud to be
let me have a minute.
Americans. What are
Guys,
you like? What are
let
you
me-
trying to
let me
get
have
to,
a
Omen?
minute.
African Americans
llegar,
have
no
nothing going for
entiendo.
themselves right now. The
Dímelo.
system's
Jack,
so
Dímelo, papi.
against them. Cops are
Let
still
me have a
shooting
minute,
them.
bro. Hey, let me have a
They're
minute.
still
Let me
being
have a
pushed
quick
into
minute.
poverty.
Let me have a quick minute, bro.
What the
See,
heck?
we go back to the same thing. The problem is not the Mexicans from Mexico. The problem lies in our Chicano community. We should stop trying to teach Mexicans how to behave when here in the States, we Latinos, Chicanos have a lot of room for improvement. We need to gain a lot of leadership. We have to get in government. We have to go to schools and graduate. We are the ones that need to set the path for the Mexicans, asking Mexicans to not wave their flag, asking Mexicans to speak
That's not what we're
a
saying.
That's not
different
what we're saying.
language.
You're putting
When
That's
words
not
in
we're
what
our
we're
not
mouth.
even
saying.
You're
no,
literally
listen,
putting words
just
in
give
our
me
mouth. We did
give
not
me
say that at all
give me
whatsoever. We
give
believe in
me
the
20 seconds,
Constitution, Bill
bro.
of Rights, and
Give
freedom
me
of speech.
give me 20 seconds, Jaguar. Do you think people starving crossing the border really, do you think they care for the Constitution? It should be us who care for the Constitution.
What has
It should
this
be us,
done
the
for us so
Chicano community.
far?
But you know
Literally
what?
nothing.
Whatever Jaguar, whatever we Chicano have done, the Chicano community is not working. It's not the Mexicans, bro. It's we the Chicanos. Whatever we have done in 60 years have has not gotten nowhere. Got us nowhere because we're not graduating in great numbers, even though this year there were more Mexican Americans graduating ever. I'm proud of that, bro. I'm happy for those numbers, but not until this year. Before that, we were not graduating enough from our colleges. So now we are getting there, slowly, but we're getting there. And I truly believe it's the Mexicans pushing us to go for better things in lives. So why should we be asking them to be better when we still have a lot of shit to learn when we are the English speakers? So I think we should look at us and find ways to get better and set a path for the Mexicans that come over. We shouldn't be asking them, bro, not to learn English. That to me, that's so disrespectful when we're not even the ones learning Spanish. You know what I mean? We are part of the first world. Mexicans are not
Bro, you
part of the
don't have
first
to know
world.
Spanish to be Mexican.
We are.
We
No, but why
we
are we
are
asking
that's
Mexicans
already,
to
bro.
speak
We share a
English?
Hispanic heritage. We
Why are we
recognize that
asking
we're Hispanic
Mexicans?
also, bro.
Why
Our
are we
You
ancestors
asking
know
were
what I
also.
Mexicans that
find?
just crossed
We
the
have a
border
Hispanic
to know
surname.
English, bro?
Just because you
That's
don't
so
know
You know what I
Spanish does not
find?
make you
disrespectful.
any less Mexican.
They're
Um,
feeding us, bro.
We're
They're
literally
taking care
getting
of our
racially
children.
profiled, being
They're
thought of
building our
as
roofs.
Mexicans from Mexico or
They're,
Mexican nationals because
Me-
we look the same. We literally look the same. And these,
but
do
Mexicans
you
are
think these
doing
agents
everything great, bro.
roaming? Do you think these stormtroopers roaming around the streets are gonna like be able to distinct a
Of
Mexican
course not.
American, distinct themselves a
Of
Mexican
course not.
American, distinguish a Mexican
Of
American
course.
and a Mexican from Mexico? No. So what's the point of like pushing this like uh learn Spanish, like, oh, we should, and like,
Because we
what?
Chicanos
No,
let it
we're
happen.
already, we're
No,
all
we
one
should
people
have never.
already.
We Chicanos should have never let this happen. We failed the Mexicans. We failed them. We should have never let this happen. We should have never have a Trump in office, bro. We failed. We failed the Mexicans. We should be ashamed. We should be embarrassed. Not asking Mexicans to be different. We don't want them to be different. Have them be themselves because as they are the hardest working people on earth.
You can do
Okay, so
both.
why should they change?
You can learn English, wave the American flag,
No,
and
no,
also
no,
be
no, no, no.
hardworking
We
and
need to
family
learn
oriented
politics,
and
bro.
have all those
Hey,
kids.
no, Jaguar, you're wrong. We need to learn politics. We need to go to school, bro. We need to learn our own history. If you not even
Yeah,
know
it's
what
all about
happened
Politics
in
balance.
is
the Alamo,
optics, and if you
if
don't
you
know
don't
how to
know
play
the
optics, you're never
The
going to
Treaty of
succeed in politics,
Guadalupe,
man.
that's our problem. When we not even know our own history, we not even know our own Chicano history. That's where the
Dude, I'm a
problem is.
descendant. I'm a descendant from the Guadalupe Treaty. Best believe, man. I know that my family got royally fucked. My family had a shit ton of land in Texas before the war, and we got it all stolen from us by the fucking Anglos. I best believe I understand, and I get it. But here's the problem. If you do not know how to play optics, none of what you said fucking matters. So we gotta learn how to play optics first before we will ever succeed in politics or
I
be able to
understand
change
Have,
why.
anything,
dude,
change our
I
you
history.
saw
understand.
their
So the Guadalupe
manpower.
Treaty
Their
is taught.
manpower. Wait, son,
We gotta
Sana, did
play
you
the
see the
optics,
protest
man.
today or yesterday? Because it's already like 2 o'clock. It's already morning. But yesterday, did you see the protest in San Diego?
I'm sorry, I did not. I
Okay,
did not.
so they raided a sweatshop right in San Diego. The agents, the
Hmm.
stormtroopers, they were well equipped. They were well armed. I don't know if I can say that. TikTok, TikTok is for educational purposes, but you get my point. They had the pew pews. They were well armed,
I get it.
and
I get
and
it.
and
Yeah.
and they speak English. The USA government speak English. We have to. We already know English. We're the ones that have the voice, and we gotta take advantage of that. And we gotta push policy. We gotta push that amnesty. And I want to see, like I said, big posters and big signs that says amnesty. There's just amnesty. And then later on, we can explain verbally, yo, this is what we mean in terms of amnesty. We want amnesty for all undocumented Latino immigrants. And then from there, we can speak some more policies. But we need a main policy, just like how Trump had his main policy in his first term of running in 2016. We gotta build that big, massive wall. Like that attracted a lot of United States citizens. We gotta do the same. We gotta
Yeah,
play the
and who
game. We gotta play
continued
the
the
I know,
long
game?
Jaguar,
game.
your heart is
Hold
in
on,
the
hold
right
on. But who
place.
continued the wall after
See,
him?
Omir, shut the fuck up. Don't act like
Biden
I didn't see your.
continued the
Nobody
wall.
talks about the wall.
Biden
No.
continued the
Wait, hold
wall.
on.
And he's
Shut up
supporting
about
our
the
people. You
wall.
cannot deny
Shut
that.
up about
Wait, hold on.
the
Notice that
wall.
nobody talks about the wall anymore.
You
Like
cannot
the
deny that Biden
constitu-
continued the wall.
the constituency of Donald
Shut
Trump
up.
does
Supporting our
not give a
people, and you
crap
know
about the
that.
wall anymore. It was all game. He was playing the
Biden lied
game.
to us. The Democrats lied to us. They
This
said,
is.
He got
Of
elected
course
and
they
gained
did.
power.
We're
Of
anti-wall.
course
got-
they did.
Yeah, he got elected by saying Mexicans are rapists and violators and criminals.
Okay, but do you see the
gotta
problem?
Like, why are we talking about the border wall though? Who, at the end
No,
of
it's
the
a
day,
policy.
we
Because
got
the
we got
Democratic Party
people
is
being
supposed to
kidnapped.
represent us.
Yeah, we know.
Wait, hold on, we're talking
We
about
know.
policy
We got
here.
fucked by the
I'm giving an
Democrats.
And they
example.
haven't
We
been
know.
doing that.
We
That's why we need
know.
to pressure them
Democrats
to
are
do
the
more
same.
for us.
Obama
Tell
separated.
me something I
Obama
don't
passed
already
those.
know.
Obama passed those executive orders of separating children from their parents, migrant children from their parents, and sending them to and giving them
Okay, so you recognize that.
tinfoil blankets in
And I'm trying to tell you that we need to keep
concentration
pressuring them because they're
camps. Obama
supposed to
started
represent
that.
us.
Oh, dude, Democrats and Republicans are both our enemy. But right now, the administration of Orange Man has power, and we gotta interact with him. We gotta be able to cooperate. We got a long time, bro. He barely got elected. We gotta put those.
when
We gotta put
there's
those
one
3
thing
years
I
to
got, I
work.
have to point out.
We're running out of time.
Jaguar, there's
We gotta
one
put
thing I
those
gotta
3 years
point
to
out.
work.
There's one thing. Let me point this out, bro. Just pay attention, just for one
Not
minute.
even 3 years.
Here we
Democrats are not
Here
even.
we
They
are.
don't cater to us at all whatsoever. DACA was literally so counterproductive and pointless. Obama still deported 3 million Latino immigrants without due process, way more than what Trump is doing right now. Orange Man is doing right now. So like again, like we're running out of time, bro. It's this bad. If Democrats and also Republicans are not even catering to our policies and demands.
That's why I'm saying we gotta get involved in our. Who cares? Listen, man. If you're an adult living in the United States and you genuinely think that either party gives a fuck about any of us, I'm not even just talking about us brown people, but any of us, you're delusional. We gotta focus on who cares about the fucking wall. We gotta focus on getting
No,
involved.
I was just
in
using
It
that
local
matters
example.
because we have to
politics,
hold those people accountable who are
we got
representing
to
us.
no.
Yes, we do.
We
Yes,
gotta
we do.
shut the fuck up and let me
The
finish.
Democrats
We gotta
helped
start-
Trump win.
No, we don't need to be focused. Listen, man, you're
What?
completely you're thinking about it.
No,
man,
didn't he get the
from a
popular
completely
vote?
different angle.
Brother, we're not
He
going to have a
did.
Bolshevik
You're
revolution
thinking
come
about
out.
it.
We're
Orange
not
Man
gonna
got
have
it.
far enough to do that.
Your mindset is completely off, man. You're
No,
thinking
it's
about,
not.
we
I'm
can
very
fix.
aware of
Yeah,
what's going on
absolutely.
right
You're
now.
you're thinking, we can fix
Okay,
the
ask me a
Democrats,
question
we can
then. Ask
fix
me a
the
question.
Republicans.
Ask me a question.
No,
Ask
we
me a question.
can't. We
Ask
gotta
me a
focus.
question.
Hold on, let me finish my point, and then I'll let you speak. We gotta focus on getting involved in our local politics and getting third party candidates that we can fund elected. Go to South Texas, man, where my family's from. Go to since you think I'm fucking white. Go to South Texas,
I
man, where
didn't
my
call you
family's from. Yeah, you did.
I did not call you
You
white.
agreed.
What the
You
hell are you talking
agreed.
about? You said you were a Native American,
Listen, man, I'm
dude.
really
Shut the
petty,
fuck
man.
up.
I'm really.
Don't put
Just
words in
shut
my
the
mouth.
fuck up.
Don't put
fucking
words in my mouth.
Spaniard.
I
Shut the
didn't-
fuck up, man. You think that
I'm a
that
Spaniard?
someone
I'm
because
mixed,
someone
motherfucker.
you think that because someone
What the
doesn't have
fuck?
an accent or not wearing a fucking sombrero on their I can't even fucking say that word, Jesus Christ, because someone can't speak Spanish or because someone doesn't have a fucking stereotypical Hispanic accent, that have to be white. You're fucking ignorant. I'm browner than you, man.
What
I've
are
seen
you
what you look
talking
like.
about? I never
Just
told
shut the
you
fuck up
anything,
and let
you
me
dumb
finish my
fuck.
point. You did, you dumb fuck.
No,
You want
I
me to put in your
didn't. You said earlier
comments?
you're a Native American. I not once called you white.
I am.
So why would I call you white if you already said you're Native
You,
American,
well, you
dummy?
didn't have to. You agreed with the statement. that someone else
Hey,
was making about me being a white passing. You agreed that I was white, so I'm really petty. I'm bringing
You're
it up right
colluding with
now.
the white
So let me.
man. You want to be their
Who's
token
colluding
boy.
with
You
the?
want to be their
I
brown
literally
token
just
boy.
told you. I literally just told
You
you.
can
Why
speak
be
Were
the
you
brown
not
Spanish and wave the
token
listening?
boy?
Mexican
Were you
flag
not
for freedom of
listening? You
speech. I'm just saying,
stupid idiot. Were you not listening?
dude, we're not.
I told you. Go
You're
ahead.
asking us to be brown token
This is
boys.
gonna
No, we're
turn
not.
on
System.
ad homs. I can't do this. Somebody else talk.
let's take a break. Let's
We
take a
This
break
is
literally,
too
really
low
quick.
wait,
IQ.
hold up,
Let me tell you.
we literally
Let me
just
tell
said
you
you
one
can
thing,
wave the
Jaguar.
Mexican flag. Our suggestion is
You
to
didn't
just
say
change a
that.
little
No,
bit
you
on our
didn't.
activism. We should
This
alter
guy's see.
or
This is
change
the
our
problem. We
activism a
have too
little
many
bit
low
by little
IQ people in
details
our
Low
and
community.
just
IQ
wave
people,
the
yeah,
also
dude.
wave the
See,
American
Yes, like
flag.
you,
hey
You're
guys,
Omar.
so insecure that I
let me
disowned you.
just
Yeah, totally.
can you guys let me say something? Let me say
You
something
know, go
again,
ahead,
man. I'm
Sana.
just breaking
Honestly, you can go
every
ahead.
5 minutes.
You keep
Every
getting
five
fucked by the
minutes, I ask you
African
30
American and
seconds,
the
bro.
Anglo
Give me,
and the Asian.
give me, give me a minute, bro. This is
I'm
what I
listening.
see. Here's four Latinos, Chicanos, maybe all four with Mexican ancestry, with some Spanish blood and indigenous blood. Four guys talking at 2, 3 in the morning. Okay, we all have the. This is what I noticed. Tell me if I'm wrong. This is what I've noticed. We all have the heart in the right place. We just think a little different. We have different philosophies, but you know what? I think we're all going to the same direction, and I don't see none of you here going the wrong direction. So what? This is what I feel. We shouldn't be insulting. I was just about to say right before the fuck this, fuck that started that I was so cool, that everybody that we had been talking for about an hour and there were no major insults because at the end, bro, this is what everything turns. I mean, almost all the time, everything turns out to be you said, she said, and fuck you and fuck that, and insults, man, and that doesn't get us nowhere. It's like let's chill, let's look at our differences, and at the end, you're gonna find out that the differences are not as bad. You know what I mean? They're not even relevant sometimes.
Oh, you're absolutely right. The thing is, I don't want to be a brown token boy and not express where my
What did I
family's
say
from.
that made
I'm
me
not
a
going to be a brown
brown
token
token
boy
Bro,
boy?
we
What,
literally,
what did I
and collude with the white
say
man.
you're
that made
putting
me
words
an
in his
Anglo
mouth. We
cuck?
never said that at all whatsoever.
Or
In
You're
any
saying we
way,
have to
shape,
start
and
waving the
form.
American flags. Why are
I
people
We
waving
said we
did
the
gotta
not
play
say
flag?
the
that in any way, shape,
optics.
and form.
Listen,
We're
man,
just
you
saying
gotta play the
we
optics.
suggest we're making suggestions. You should also wave the American flag and speak English.
But we
Speak
should
English
still
when you're
unapologetically
saying
embrace
your
where our
speeches
family comes from. You're denying us
out
of
there in
that
the
by saying to
Jesus
wave
streets.
the
fucking
American flag.
Christ.
see, this is a perfect
Do you not
example.
see the issue
I
with
don't
that?
I don't agree. I don't agree with Jaguar about that we have to, but because I know where his heart is, I don't give a crap. From now on, I'll start waving the American flag as well. You know what I mean? I'll do that extra step because I know that Jaguar, his heart is in the right place. So can we all do something like that?
What are
Like
you even? What
I might
policy?
not agree.
No, I'm not gonna show sympathy with you. What policy are you fucking passing? Be serious. What policy and demands are you pushing that you want the U.S. government to hear out and agree upon and make sure they go by it?
See,
I'm
the
not playing
problem
games, bro. I'm not gonna. This is not history
Oh
class. I
my
don't want to play
god.
history
the
class with
pro,
you. Oh, we were pressed. Historically, the border cross. We need cross. Bro, we heard that shit since the '60s. You're making like
the pro,
Chicano
but we
movement
haven't done
arguments,
shit about
bro.
it, bro.
We're not in the
But we
'60s
haven't.
anymore, bro. We're in 2025. We're running out of
But your
time.
parents and your
Democrats are not
uncles and
catering to us.
yourself
We got
haven't done
manipulated people
shit.
like
You
Omid
know what I
thinking that
mean?
Democrats cater to us. But we're literally running out of time, and we're over here like, bro, like, what are we doing? We gotta
We're here.
push
How
We're
about
policy,
play
here
token
amnesty,
arguing.
boy?
amnesty,
We're
You'd
amnesty,
here
rather play
amnesty.
token
arguing.
boy than lose your
We should
dignity?
wave stupid flags. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid to think that way. Yes, I agree with you, Jaguar. Yeah, we've been hearing this from the 60s, yet we are in 2025
And you didn't get anywhere.
for an hour
You can't name me
talking about waving
anything.
flags.
Cesar Chavez eventually lost his activism. He literally didn't get what he wanted. More the
Because we're
Bracero Act. The
Chicanos.
Bracero Act literally like
Yeah, because change
surpassed
doesn't
all of
happen
his
overnight.
policies,
But he
all of
said
his
he set the
ideas.
president for all of us to be for all of us to continue that.
It's
You
the
know what's
same
gonna
All
happen,
mentality,
his
His work
man.
John?
still
ideas were
matter.
destroyed by the Bracero
We
Act. The
suffer.
Bracero
We
Act was
suffer
passed by
from
the
the
U.S.
same
government.
mentality.
So what makes you think?
We
And Cesar
suffer
Chavez was speaking
from
English.
the
He
same
was
mentality.
waving the Chicano flag and speaking English, and he still lost. His activism was not
Then
successful
why are you
at all
advocating for it if
whatsoever.
you lost? What the heck? Like, you
So,
just defeated
so
your own argument right there. What the
yeah,
fuck?
No,
the
You
flag
just
doesn't
admitted it
matter.
right now. Like,
Policy
no. Wait,
matter.
hold on.
Then
Okay, so Trump is president right now. The Orange Man is president right now, right? We got media.
the Orange Man
We got
doesn't like
media. We got
us,
social
dude.
media. We can spread our word. It's not like we have the internet now. We got media. We can spread the word through X, TikTok. Like I'm doing right now. Like I got 51 views, 52 views. Like so we're at different times. We have no excuses. We have the media now. We can make our own platform. I'm literally a 21-year-old Mexican American that just went on TikTok and I got 53 people listening to me. So no excuses, bro. We gotta push policy, amnesty
Okay,
for all
I agree with you,
undocumented
dude. But again, the flags aren't
Mexicans
the
and
end all be
Latino
all. You shouldn't be
immigrants.
advocating for us to be token boys and not embrace our heritage.
This type of stupid mindset, and I say
We
stupid
literally have no
mindset because
excuses,
that's
bro.
what it is. This is literally why we're in the situation we're in right now, and I really do believe that if this type of mindset
Me embracing my
continues
heritage is the reason why Trump got
We
elected?
never.
no, you're twisting my words, man. You're
What are you
twisting
trying
my
to say? I'm
words.
asking
You're
you.
twisting my words.
What are you trying to say
Listen,
then?
man, if you would shut
Explain.
the fuck up, if you would
Explain.
shut the fuck up and
Go
actually
ahead,
let me
explain
talk,
it.
which you haven't been able to
Since you know
do,
so
which you
much.
haven't been able to do, I'm just gonna start muting you, man. If which you haven't been able to
I don't
do
care.
in the past
Yeah, he's
like
mine. You
50
ass
minutes,
nine.
man.
You fucking idiot.
Let me just finish my point, please. Thank you. This type of rhetoric of screw the optics, screw what they think about us. We'll just throw our hands up. It is what it is. Democrats and Republicans, they can be fixed. This type of mindset is why we are in the situation we're in right now. This is why we are getting screwed. And I really fear that if we continue this type of mindset, Jag, I genuinely believe that if the people around Donald Trump are let loose, and they're allowed to do what they really want to do, because I don't think it's Donald Trump. He's not mentally there. It's the people around him who are really in control. We're looking at the next H cost, man. It's
Oh yeah,
getting to
definitely.
that point.
Like
There's people.
I can't believe we're
Yeah.
still waving the Mexican flag and speaking Spanish
We're,
loudly
we're
on the streets.
going
Like
we're going to literally be G-sided. That's what it's coming. That's what it's come to, man. So we got to learn how to play the
yeah,
optics.
we're the
We got to
dog.
learn
Do you
how
know
to
the
play
whole
the
meme,
long
the
game,
dog chasing his own tail?
or
That's
we're
literally
fucked.
what we're
Guys,
fucking doing right now.
guys.
We're
Right.
like
I
a
mean this
stupid
with
I
little
know.
all
dog
That is
chasing
what
our
we're
respect.
doing.
tail,
There is no.
thinking that we
I mean
can
this
catch it one
respectfully.
day, and we never do.
Guys, I mean this
That's
with
a
the utmost
great
respect. There is
metaphor.
nothing wrong with embracing who you are and expressing that. Nothing wrong at all with
It's
that.
literally what we've been saying the entire time, man. I think you're missing the
But
point.
you're asking us to be token boys.
Oh my god, this guy.
Literally.
Roberto, do you have
Like
anything
I
to
don't.
add?
Were you?
Oh yeah,
Man,
I'm just
you
being
guys are going
honest.
back and forth.
I'm being honest with you.
I just want to know what you suggest we should do.
Okay, so you came in. You must have come in late. So
Yeah,
what I
I
suggest is
came
that
in late and you guys were fighting.
there's a huge protest going on, right? The
Mhm.
agents, the stormtroopers, they raided a sweatshop in San Diego, and that angered the locals. It fueled up the locals, heated up the locals, and a huge protest yet again erupted. And the locals decided to do a mass protest against those stormtroopers, and they decided to do it in nearly the worst manner ever. They decided to just wave the Mexican flag, and literally speak on the speaker Spanish, Spanish phrases, saying that get out, go, like get out, in Spanish, screaming and just waving the Mexican flag. They're not even minding and waving the American flag at all whatsoever. So if you can read the prompt, should Mexican Americans wave the Mexican flag only at I'm not gonna say it, but protest? What do you think about that? Yes or no?
I mean, not. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Mexican flag, but I think that they, there's a lot of rhetoric, right? That Mexicans just want to come into the country, right, and use the land or whatever, even though it's our land. So I mean, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our Americans, or there's a lot of Mexican Americans. So why wouldn't we wave the American flag as well? You know what I'm saying? I just,
Yeah,
especially
exactly. I
if
agree.
we're trying to claim this is our land too. You know what I'm saying? Like this is our land, the Americas and Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Like present day, it's America, but it's always you know the history of it, so like why not? You don't see all the trucks, bro, all the lifted trucks with both flags on the back, like, here in
Oh
Texas,
yeah,
I
in
got
Texas, y'all are
we got
doing
a
it right
Texas
there.
in
You
Texas
guys
we
literally.
in Texas we got a Texas flag and a Mexico flag on the other side.
Right. Right, we know how to do it here in Texas, but that's because we've been here, and a lot of us have been here in Texas, since before the Mexican American War. So we know how the Anglos work. We know how to play the game. What's problematic is people. Listen, man, I'm gonna start insulting people. I really don't care. What's problematic is a lot of these first, second generation Mexican Americans do not understand how the Anglo-Saxon American thinks and how they work, and the Tejanos in Texas, the people in my community, they know how to play the game, man.
Yo, that fool
They
Julian is a troll,
understand
bro. I'm just
what
telling
they've
you
been
right now,
dealing
he's a
with.
troll.
Yeah,
Oh,
Buddha.
okay, I booted him. Thanks for the heads
They
up.
they they
Whatever.
understand how to play the game.
See, like me, you guys don't know, bro. I'm not somebody that agrees with everything you guys say, bro. But when I mean it's not about agreeing with everything you guys say. It's about agreeing, like taking the positive, bro, and trying to better the community at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I get where you guys are coming from when it comes to that, you know.
Yo, hey guys, the people who are watching, tap. Let's get to 10,000 views. I mean, 10,000 likes. 10,000 likes. Tap the
You know.
screen.
And
Reminder.
I don't know, bro. Ain't nobody saying not to wave the Mexican flag, bro, or to stop or to not speak Spanish, bro. Nobody's saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Dude, Tejanos literally know the game. I agree with Swamp here. They're running the game way better
Of
than us
course we
Mexicans
do.
from
We've
California. They
we've been
literally
here
have
longer.
everybody in their district represented. Everybody in their districts are literally Latino. They look like them. They are who they are. Like we don't have
Right,
that
we control
at all
we
whatsoever.
control local politics. Like this is what I'm saying, man. Like no offense to the first and second generation Mexican Americans, but they haven't lived in this country long enough to understand how to play the game.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all this is, man. I'm not saying we should wave the American flag because we're proud to be Americans in our hearts, or we should wave the American flag because we owe the United Statesians something, or we owe the Anglos something. No, man. We should wave the American flag as a propaganda piece to get what we want.
Hey,
It's not
Wamp,
that hard. It's not that
is
hard.
no it's not an insult saying that Mexicans, first generation, second generation, know how this country works. It's not an insult because you know why? We
Just because they're first
Chicanos,
generation.
we the Chicanos that have been here for 200 years, we still haven't been able to figure that shit out. We're still the
Right,
minority.
right,
And,
We're still
right,
not in politics. We
and, I,
have
and I'm
failed. We're
right.
failing, bro. We're failing the
No,
Mexicans.
I
We're
agree.
failing. We are
I agree.
40.
I'm
We are
I'm first
40 million.
generation, bro.
Check
So
this out. Check this out. We're 40 million. Texas is all that. And you still have a fucking Cuban there leading your politics. You have a
Yeah, I
Ted
know.
Cruz.
It's bad.
That's
It's
that's
bad.
how that's how
yo,
low we are in
but
politics, bro.
but
Right,
We
but,
Chicanos
but
ain't we
what I'm
Chicanos
right,
don't
saying
have
is
nothing to show for, and that pisses me
right.
off, bro. And we're
No, I
trying to
agree,
have
man.
we're asking too much for Mexicans, but we Chicanos ain't shit, bro. And we've been here 200 years. We speak the language. A lot of us don't even speak Spanish, and so language is not a barrier. And all we do, we go to the army, we go to war, come back, all and that's it. And then we feel like
Yeah, and
great
then you
patriots.
go back to being treated as a second class citizen because you literally
Right.
have
We
yeah,
no
need to
voice.
work harder.
We did not get involved in
yeah.
Right.
politics. We
But
did
but
not
but
elect our people in our district so they can represent us in Congress. Like we're literally like labor. We're free labor for them. We're giving them just our labor power, our resources, our
Thank you,
blood, sweat, and
Jaguar. Thank
tears
So
you. Juan.
for
yeah,
That's
yeah,
free.
where I'm
that's
coming
true.
from.
That's true. But I just want to say one thing, right? Um, us Chicanos or whatever you guys call yourselves, right? You're not, bro, gonna say that there hasn't been a movement and there hasn't been people who've done stuff. Was it
You're
enough?
right, Roberto. You're
Maybe
right.
not, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe not, right? Maybe it's not enough. Maybe there's a time frame where people have gotten, complacent and not done this. Like, why until now? You know what I mean? Why until shit is hitting the fan that everybody's starting to move? You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't take this.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
And it needs to be consistent. That's why, community organizing is a big thing. I think we should have done it more under Biden because he was still deporting a lot of our people. I get you. He's not perfect. He's not as bad as Trump, but that's why community organizing is
Yeah, but
very important. We have to
he did a,
consistently
a
do it.
bunch of bullshit. Like, how come he didn't give amnesty, bro?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. You know?
amnesty is the best thing, bro, that we can do for our
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
We're
And
putting
because
look,
so much
that's why
money
he
into
did
the
DACA.
economy, bro.
That's why he passed
Yeah, bro.
DACA, because he knew it was so counterproductive and dumb and asinine.
Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
and that's the thing though. I
He
don't
was
want us to
horrible,
settle,
bro.
guys. Like we
Like
need to
he
keep
used
asking
us as
more no matter
pawns,
who's
bro.
in
Like
office.
he brought everybody, right? This is the analogy I give people, bro. Right? If you invite somebody into your house, bro, you're gonna feed them, you're gonna clothe them, you're gonna treat them like your family, bro. He just let them in here and said, "All right, cool, bro. Like you're fend for yourself." That's bullshit, bro. Like that's not right. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro. He should have done amnesty, bro. Giving people social cards, bro. Giving them, the
Yeah,
ability to
and
work,
that's
bro.
and Roberto, to
Boosted
add
the
on to your point,
economy,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
and do
why
you
a
know who
lot of
did
people are
that? Do you
pissed
know
off
who
with the
actually?
Democratic Party
Reagan,
because
bro.
they should have
Yeah,
done
Reagan.
more and
Reagan
they
did
could
it,
have
and
done
that
more.
was
Not
back in the
even just with
80s, right?
immigration, but with a
And,
That
lot of
that
and
wasn't
things.
even
did you know?
enough. He only
Did you
gave
know
amnesty
how
to only
good
11
we were
million,
in
right?
the '80s,
No,
bro?
not like 3 million. No, not even like yeah. He gave like amnesty to like a few million, not much. Only to the
And to
Mexicans
be
who migrated
fair,
to the United States before the 60s, which is like literally less than 2 million, I believe.
Someone said Obama deported more than Trump. How come he didn't cry about it?
Oh,
Man, you see
I'm
that's
against
the issue,
both.
right?
We
Yeah,
gotta
bro.
act now.
I've been
Like
well,
even
against
yeah,
if
they're
any
both
Democrats
against
get
it.
in
president
office, who
for our
cares?
people,
We're
bro.
gonna get into the same
Period.
problem, run into the same problems again and again. We're literally chasing our own tail. Like Democrats are not gonna care. Literally, Kamala said she went on her podium in Central America in Guatemala and said, "Don't come,
Don't come. Yeah, she
don't
did say
come."
that. I remember.
So like,
See, this is something that we need to consider, though. Okay, when we're talking about amnesty and all these things, there's 11, maybe possible up to 20 million undocumented people in America. Okay, from 11 to 20 million. Now, out of those millions, only about 5 to 6 million are Mexican. The rest come from other countries in the world. So if we're talking about those 5 to 6 million Mexicans, you know who they are. They are the ones working in our kitchens. They are the ones mainly working in our roofs. They are all of our farm workers because there's no more Filipino doing farm work. There's no more Italians doing farm work. There's no Chicanos doing farm work for the most part. For the most part, it's part of these 5 to 6 million Mexicans that are doing the hardest jobs, which is agriculture and construction. I'm not saying all construction workers are Mexican because it's not. But what I'm saying, there's 5 to 6 million Mexican undocumented people, where maybe half are men. They are. It cuts down to 3 million to 4 million. They are the ones working in the roofs. So what I'm
Sana, can
trying
I
to
ask you a question?
yeah, well, let me just finish this. What I want to say.
Okay, okay.
If we were talking about an amnesty for these people, yeah, it sounds easy, but you know what? I don't
it
think
was literally
no
done before in the
no
80s. It's not. It's literally done before. This is not rocket science.
Republicans
This
and
It's
policy
not
Democrats are,
will
something that's
cater
far
to us.
fetched, bro.
And it's so
but the
simple, and it was
reason,
done before in the 80s under Ronald Reagan. Like,
Yo,
but
what?
the re, but you know what?
yo,
What
and that's
happened?
the
It
that's the reason
backfired.
why my mom became a citizen, bro. Like
Yes,
what?
I
Oh, yeah.
agree. But you know what? Economically, it backfired You know why?
How did
Because
it
a lot of my
backfire?
family,
Yeah,
it
brother,
backfired
that
because
was
you
one
know
of the
what?
Wait,
best
how is that? How does that
economies.
make any sense? So you
Let
like
me
what?
explain you. Let me
They're
explain
paying
you.
taxes. They're contributing to our
No,
economy,
no,
our
no, 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 no.
society.
You're not listening, bro.
If you're a
You're
citizen, you pay
interrupting
taxes.
me.
You put in
You're
more of
interrupting me.
your labor into the economy,
Jaguar.
America's
You're only
economy.
21. You were not even born. I was in the middle of it. I'm 54. Let me explain you this. I lived by the border when
And
that
my mom's
happened.
the same age, brother. I had this
Let,
conversation with her.
okay, bro. Let me explain
She
you what happened. When these 2 million people got amnesty, most of them work in the fields. When they got this green card, they left the eventually they left the fields, and then we had to cover those empty spots with undocumented people again. So what I'm trying to say is the Republicans saw that, the Democrats saw that, and that's why there hasn't been another one, because they know that the minute that the undocumented get green cards, they leave those jobs for better jobs, and then the undocumented have to cross the border again because the farm workers talk to the government, hey, let them in because all my lettuce is gonna go bad if you don't get the illegals here. So right now in Yuma,
Was
bro,
give them
when you go to
amnesty.
the
If
Oh,
they
but
want
still,
to
the
when
pass,
amnesty
wait,
is to
hold
the
on, hold on, hold on, hold
farmers
on,
on the
hold on, hold on.
bro,
it's a never
are,
Let her
ending
finish.
it's a
Hold on, hold on,
never
hold on,
ending story,
hold on.
bro.
Let them be
bro,
Americans.
how does that make sense, bro? Like just like, oh my god, bro.
Bro, let
The
them be Americans.
undocumented
If
will
more, wait, hold
always
on, hold
be
on. If more
needed.
Hold on,
Latinos
let him
or Mexicans
finish.
want to come to the United States and become American and wave that American flag and learn English, let them. I'm a U.S. citizen myself, and this is my idea that I'm pushing. I'm
He's
not,
I'm
not
I'm
telling
not
you
arguing
how
that.
the government.
like
I'm telling you how the
immigrants are
government
good.
thinks.
They
You
bring
know how
money
they.
into the
Dude,
economy.
he's not arguing
We
that.
all
He's making a
benefit with
different
Look,
argument.
immigrants. The more immigrants, the
what
better
I'm
the
telling
economy. The
you.
more
Listen, Jaguar. What I'm telling you.
the more
Sabanam,
better
what I'm
roads, the more
Yeah.
what
workers we
I'm
have in
telling
our
you
government, like
is you know how much money
doctors.
illegals contribute in taxes, bro?
Okay,
In the
Roberto,
with
quick
the
question. Roberto,
ITIN numbers?
A lot
Roberto,
of it. A lot of it,
Can I ask you a
Roberto.
quick question?
Trillions.
Imagine all that
Roberto,
money going into the economy, bro.
Roberto,
Just
quick
imagine
question.
that, bro.
Roberto, quick question.
What?
Okay, that I agree with what you're saying. So a lot of illegal, hold on, what you're saying is a lot of illegal immigrants that come to this country contribute a lot to the economy, right? And they make the economy
Yeah, and
better.
they will contribute even more
Yes.
if they
No,
become
but
Okay,
it's not.
hold
citizens.
on, hold on, dude, relax. Okay, now why can't they do that in Mexico?
Why can't?
Because
Oh
they don't
my
want
god.
you. So what? It is what it is. If they want to become an
Well,
Let me
American,
answer
they should
that.
have the right to be
wait,
here.
wait,
No,
wait,
let
wait.
him, let him answer,
No.
dude.
Let me
Can I
answer. Let me
answer?
answer.
Where are you
Yeah,
Can
from?
I
let him
answer the
answer.
question, bro? Can I
I
answer
want
it?
to answer. He asked me. He asked me,
Okay.
right? Um, why don't they do that in Mexico?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, are we talking about when they drew the line in the sand and said this is Mexico, this is the United States,
No,
or what
right now.
what
We're
time
going to
period are we
Mexico. Right
talking
now,
about?
right now, right now.
You know Mexico, bro, is so rich, bro,
Okay,
and resources and
okay.
a
Good,
whole
good, good.
bunch of shit, bro.
So that's your argument? Mexico's so
Yeah,
rich?
bro.
I have the answer. I have the
That
answer.
like that is my argument because you're trying to say that like Mexico is what's wrong with Mexico, bro?
I
Let
don't
I
me
have
know.
the
ask.
You tell
answer. I
me,
have the answer to
fool.
his question. Let me answer him.
Bro, you
What's
gotta tell me. Hold on. You said
what's
that,
wrong with Mexico?
dude. You said that illegal. Hold on. You said illegal immigrants come to this country and make it rich, right?
Yeah, they contribute to the economy.
Okay,
They
good,
pay
perfect.
taxes as citizens. They pay
Yes,
taxes and
perfect,
contribute to our to
perfect.
to our
I agree with
social
you.
services,
Okay,
government
good. Why
services.
can't they do that in Mexico? I'm asking you.
Oh, what's your point? Like I don't care
You don't
they
care?
could if they
They could.
can,
Okay,
but I'm an
why
American,
don't
and
they?
if they want to become an American, if an immigrant wants
Dude,
to become an American, they should have the right to.
listen to
I'm a
my
U.S.
argument.
citizen. Immigrants
Listen
contribute
to
to
my.
our economy.
Okay, good. Like, let's just say it's like how many immigrants? 10 million?
Oh, we definitely need to have more immigrants because we're not having
Okay,
kids.
good.
Our birth
I
rates
agree
are
with
not
you,
in replacement rate. If you
dude.
look at our data, and if you look at the
Dude,
sources and the data, we have no
I'm
replacement
agreeing with
rate.
you. I'm agreeing with you.
We need more
The
Well,
immigrants.
question,
I just don't. I just you're using a
Listen, I
strong
have the
man,
answer
bro.
to your question, bro. Like,
You're using a
We
question.
got
You know what you're doing, bro.
we need to
You're
replace
bet you're
all that labor that exists now.
Dude, I'm asking you if you have all that power,
I
right?
already answered the
Immigration power,
question.
right?
I have no problem if they want to become
Okay,
American.
okay. Now, why can't they do that in Mexico? I'm asking you, why?
They
Let me
could.
answer.
They can
Can I have
protest
a
over there
chance
if they
to
want
answer?
to. Wave the Mexican flag. Actually, wave the fucking Mexican flag in Mexico. Over here in the United States, wave the Chicano or American. We're Mexican Americans or Americans.
You just said,
Homie,
oh my god,
Like,
dude, you're
Can
not
I?
kidding.
I'm
Can
just
Chicano
giving
or
I?
my
not,
suggestions. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just
Jaguar,
giving my
can I
suggestions
answer?
because I
homie,
do believe in the Bill of
homie,
Rights and freedom of
Chicanos
speech.
are not
I'm just giving my
farmers, okay?
Hey,
suggestions.
Christian, I have your
We should
guys,
answer,
alter
bro.
our
I,
ways of
hey,
activism.
Jaguar,
They're not answering my
Jaguar,
question, dude.
you
Christian,
might
I have
not
answered your
care, but
question.
if I,
Okay,
Jaguar,
okay.
you might not care, but if I cannot talk to you guys, I can just say good night, bro. Because I've been trying to answer also, man, and you guys keep cutting.
Go
You
ahead,
can
answer.
okay. Go
Dude,
ahead. You can
Okay,
respond.
dude, you sound like a
thank
girl.
you,
The
thank you,
girl that gets mad or
Christian.
something, man. Okay, go
Christian,
for it.
listen, Christian. There's 130 million Mexicans in Mexico, right? Are you aware of that? And Mexico is the 12th strongest economy in the world. Are you aware of that? And Mexico is United States' number one trading partner. Are you aware of that? So Mexicans are making shit happen. So when you're talking about the 5 million undocumented Mexicans that we're talking about, they are the minority in Mexico. The reason they're here is because they've been marginalized because of their country not being part of the first world. But Mexico is considered an emerging economy. Whether you like it or not, they are not a third world country like many of the Central American or South American countries. Mexico is not a third world country. Mexico is an emerging economy with mixed styles of economy that ranks them number 12 in the world. And what I
They're
want
not.
you
They
to
don't compare
know
to us
is
Americans.
is that no, but it's enough for them to be our number one trading partner. They got the purchasing power to make us rich.
And,
Thanks to them,
and that's why I
the-
asked him, bro. I don't want
Mexico
to cut
is
you off,
That's
but
Mexico has
another
that's why
been
I asked
policy.
him what's
our
wrong with
number one.
Mexico.
Stop the tariffs.
Mexico, Mexico took over China and Canada as our number one trading partner. Why? Because Mexico has the money. Mexico has the purchasing power to buy our technology, to buy everything that we produce, our vehicles.
Doesn't make sense. If I go with a dollar,
And what's
dude,
wrong? That's why I asked you, what's wrong with Mexico? Like you said it.
I'm not saying nothing's wrong with Mexico. I'm
Well,
asking
you're
you,
saying that
listen.
how come they don't do that in their country? Like, what do
I
you mean
answer you,
they have
Yes.
Christian.
to? I
What do
told
you
you
I
mean
answer
Mexico is
Mexico?
you.
rich. I told you Mexico is rich, bro.
Okay,
I don't get what
okay.
you're trying to say. Like, if you're trying to say
Dude,
that it's
Oh,
for
you guys are
corruption
missing
or
something
whatever,
you're
here,
like
and
a
I've been
woman.
because
trying
I
to
hear
answer.
somebody
Y'all
in
gonna
the
let me
Calm
speak
comments
down.
for
saying,
once?
Calm
God
down. Calm
"Oh,
damn.
down.
I'm hearing
Go ahead, old man. You can
Okay,
chime
I was
in.
gonna say to Christian's question, yes, what Sana said is very true. He's spot on. The point is,
What do
in
you mean by
Mexico,
that? What do you mean Mexico's rich? What do you mean by that? Please.
no, not rich.
Bro,
We're
let
not
him
saying it's rich. The
finish.
point is, before Morena came into power, Mexico was under the PRI and a couple terms with the PAN for a very long time. Because of that, that ruined the economy. That hurt a lot of Mexican workers. Yes, that's what drove a lot of
NAFTA.
Mexican. That's what drove a lot of Mexicans to migrate to the U.S. and to find something better for themselves. But now that Morena's in power now, since AMLO came in 2018, yes, he's done a lot of good things.
So
Source
Okay,
Claudia,
okay. Name
right?
the good things that Mexico has done for the Mexican people.
What'd you say?
Name the good things that Mexico has done for the Mexican people.
You're asking me about AMLO and Morena?
Yes, because that's what you're claiming,
Bro, what does
right?
that have to do with
Yeah,
Mexico or Shine Bob?
bro, the minimum
Who
wage
cares?
before AMLO came into power was $4 a day. Now that Claudia's in power, it's not a lot to Mexicans, but it's at least tripled since AMLO's come into power.
Okay, and when you compare that to the dollar, is it more or less?
bro, these are
What I
some
can answer, the
questions
way
you're
I can
asking,
answer
Bro,
bro.
that
what
one,
does it have to do with anything? Look, bro, read the prompt. Okay,
I don't understand. Look, bro, if you come
Christian,
here
read
to
the
divide
prompt
and
and
ask
respond to
stupid
it.
ass questions,
Because
bro,
you just came in
like
and
you should just
interrupted.
stop, G.
Yeah, you
I
just
ain't
came
gonna
in and
lie.
interrupted, bro. We're talking about Shine Bob. We're Americans here, bro. So look
Okay,
look
Christian,
at the
where are
prompt.
you from? Christian, where are you from? Let's start there. Where are you
I'm
from?
from Mexico. I'm from Mexico.
What place in
Oh my.
Mexico?
I'm from Tijuana.
You're from the border. Now,
Yeah,
Yes.
how did you learn English? I just want to know where you're coming from. I want to understand your questions, bro. I'm not being disrespectful. I just want to know, how did you learn English?
I grew up in Pacoima.
Uh, are you a U.S. citizen or just Mexican from
Yes.
Mexico?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you live in Tijuana and not in the States?
No, I told you I grew up in Pacoima.
Oh, okay. You're just from Tijuana, but you're in the States.
Yes.
Okay. And do you travel to Mexico once in a while? Do you go to Tijuana once in a while?
Yes. When I spend my dollars, yes, I do.
And do you see the success? Do you see
No, I don't see
Mexicans
it.
being
That's why I say
successful?
fucking United States. I don't fucking see success.
and that's
So you don't like
cool.
No, so,
Morena.
so
And
there's no
that's cool.
rich
So you want
people
to
in
be American?
Mexico?
Okay, so respond to the prompt. Should Mexican Americans wave the Mexican flag only at anti, I can't say it, protest, anti, stormtrooper protest?
Hold on. When you say I want to be American, what do you mean by that?
What? No, do you believe that should Mexican Americans wave the Mexican flag only at anti, protest, anti stormtrooper protest?
Well, yeah, yeah, I think yeah. If I'm in America,
Bro, you're living in
right?
America, like praising America. You should say
I'm not.
no. You should say they should wave the
What?
American flag. They should
That's
wave
a
the
very.
they should wave the American
I'm
What?
flag.
sorry.
Also, I'm not saying they can't, but I'm just saying they should also wave the American flag.
Dude, I work for an American company, right?
Okay.
Okay. So if I go to protest, should I wave an American flag or a Mexican flag?
If you're fighting for the rights of immigrants, what flag would you wave, or what flags? Answer that.
Okay. When you say rights, what do you mean by that?
Both flags, bro. Like I don't know how this is a hard question.
Bro, both
You're
flags.
telling
The
you're
American
telling that
flag.
you're telling America that your people belong here, bro. Right? That's
No,
what
hold
you're
on,
Flag
telling
hold
us,
on,
that
welcome
your
to
hold
the
on,
people belong here.
Constitution.
hold on, hold
I
on,
just
hold
don't.
on, hold on. What do you mean by rights? I'm asking, what do you mean by rights?
God damn, bro. We gotta define
Bro.
everything to this fool, bro.
Okay,
He's
so you're
slow as
not
fuck,
even.
bro.
You're born
All
and
right,
No,
raised
it's
in
just kick him
important. He's
Mexico.
out.
asking me
Okay,
Just
different
let's
kick
just
him
move
questions.
out.
on.
Let him
Let's just move
finish.
on. We got a new guest here. So user, what do you think about the prompt? Yes or no?
All right, here's my take on it. Everybody has the right to wave whatever flag they want. It's America, and it shouldn't be anybody's decision whether to dictate who's waving what. It doesn't matter. Like it
You
shouldn't
sound like
matter
a
to you
girl,
what I'm
fool. That's
waving.
what a girl will say. Do whatever you want.
Okay,
You
so,
guys are missing.
okay,
You guys
so,
are missing the whole point,
Bro,
bro.
I'm
Like
talking
okay,
about
so
the
the
no,
whole
no, no, I
point
heard
Constitution.
you
is
out,
How are you
right?
gonna bring a
officially.
valid
That's
point without
okay.
using
So
the
let me
Constitution? Are you
speak.
dumb?
That's what a girl
User,
say.
you
Do
gotta
whatever
hear
you
me out,
want.
right? So we've been doing this, right? We've been
Do
doing
what makes
this,
you
waving
happy.
the
There
Mexican
you go.
flag
That's my
only
answer.
and speaking
Do it.
Spanish. We're either giving like speeches or like phrases out in the streets where it's only in Spanish. Wait, hold up.
Bro, do what makes you happy.
Uh,
There you go. Do
shit,
what makes you
dude.
happy. That's what girls say.
Lady,
Do what makes
lady,
you
we got
happy.
spammers. We got
Yeah,
we
and
got
you've never
spammers,
had a
lady.
girl, so what are you talking
Do
about?
what makes
We
you
got
happy.
spammers,
There you
lady.
go.
You sound
Okay,
like the only thing you
okay,
do is
so
go
okay,
on.
hold up. So user,
Homie,
we've been
do
doing this,
what makes you
right?
happy.
We've
There you
been
go.
waving.
That's
Okay, I'm
it.
gonna
I
bully you,
agree.
bro. Your voice is annoying, and you're not even
I
fucking
know,
from
I know.
America.
Do what makes you happy.
Thank God.
Fuck, Jack.
All right, you were saying because
Okay,
we
so
actually
like I was
respect
saying,
people when they talk.
when we've been doing this, right? Waving the Mexican flag and giving loud speeches in Spanish. This has not gotten us anywhere, at all whatsoever, in any
It
way,
doesn't
shape,
matter
and
where it
form.
gets us though.
Do you know
It's our
what
basic
will? Do you
human
know
right.
what will open the ears to the U.S. government? If we actually cater to their culture, not even fully 100%. We don't have to eat their nasty hamburgers and McDonald's. We have better food than that. What I'm talking about is we need to wave that American flag when we go at those protests, and we also need to push our main policy, and that main policy is amnesty for all undocumented Mexicans and Latino immigrants. Amnesty,
Bro,
amnesty. That's the
this land
word we
doesn't
should
belong to
scream at
America
the
though.
top of our
During the
lungs.
Treaty of
Amnesty,
Guadalupe
amnesty,
bro.
Hidalgo,
amnesty.
this land was stolen from Mexicans.
Okay, we got another
If you
fucking
look back in
Chicano
history,
activist here. Oh,
if you
the
look
border
back in
crossed. I
history,
heard it already, bro. The
the
border
war was
crossed us.
provoked
We
by
didn't
the
cross the
American
border,
Bro,
generals.
bro. That we've been saying these arguments
brother,
since the
can I get 2
'60s
minutes?
with Cesar Chavez, bro. We
Because
didn't
they're
get
important
anywhere.
and they
Brother,
bring valid points, and if you can't bring them to a discussion, then you're not holding a valid discussion.
It's all
because
about
you're only
policy.
21, Jaguar. That's why you don't relate. You gotta listen to your elders, Jaguar.
Well,
You gotta be
actually,
a little more
misspoke there. I'm
humble.
actually 24 years old. I,
Well,
I, I know how it's like to
listen.
be in the real world, bro. I know how.
Yeah,
I
Jaguar,
work a real job. I've worked
you're
in
very smart.
construction.
You're very smart,
I've worked
Jaguar,
50
for
hours a
being
week.
20. Yeah,
I know
you're
how it's
very
like to be the
smart. I'm
working
not gonna
part of the
take that
working
away
class.
from you, Jaguar. I'm not
And
gonna take
I'm
that away from you.
ironically,
You're very smart for being
tongue in
your
cheek,
age.
bro. Tongue in cheek. I'm
I
literally
respect
way
you.
more
I
man.
respect you for it.
smarter than you.
But you
is
gotta
a-
And
listen.
because you're literally talking
You
about a
gotta
history
listen to
class,
your elders.
you bring a whole lecture of history when you talk
But
about these
You don't
fucking
you don't disrespect your elders
prompts.
by
Can't lie.
erasing history. That's being
Ladies
white.
and
nah,
gentlemen,
look, bro.
That
No
that
one's erasing history, right? The Chicano movement
bro,
was a
do you
good
not
movement.
understand that
The
what
Chicano
Trump is
movement was a
doing
good
by
movement. It's
taking
true,
away
bro.
Ladies
This
and
is
food for
gentlemen,
stolen
for
land.
students at
It is
school?
true.
He's
This is
taking
stolen
away.
land, bro. But what I'm
Wait, hold up. We
ladies
got a
and
new
gentlemen.
guest here. Sinaloa.
What's
What do you think about the
wow.
prompt?
Sinaloa people, yes, sir. I just want to bring something up real quick. It's not about the past. It's not about the future. It's about right now, bro. It's not about colors. It's not about politics. It's not about religion. It's about human rights. We're in America. This is not Venezuela. This is not Iraq. This is not Ukraine. This is not Israel. This is not Gaza. This is the United States of America. For everybody that forgot, this was our land. Back in the days,
Oh
this
my
was
God,
Mexico.
we literally
Oh,
got
no,
another
listen.
Chicano
It's not
activist,
history,
bro.
bro. Give me a
Bro,
second.
how
I'm
is he
52
gonna
years old,
hold an
bro.
argument? And I'm not talking to you. How is this man gonna
I'm
hold the
just telling
argument
you.
if he keeps muting people and talking over people? Like,
All
come on,
right,
throw some
Bro,
balls.
are you gonna
have some
fucking whine
respect.
about
Have
it?
some
Are you
respect.
going?
Have some
Listen,
respect.
user, are
Have
you
some
going to
respect.
I'm
whine
the
about
host.
it,
Get the fuck off my
or
live, then. My panel. I'm the fucking host.
you gonna
Listen,
fucking hell,
brother.
dude? Just
Listen,
fucking
brother.
unmute yourself to
We're
whine,
all
really?
supposed to be proud of our heritage because that's not going to change. The blood in our veins stays the same. It's Mexican. Whichever way you flip it, whichever way you switch it, we're all Mexican in our blood.
You're right, homie.
Thank you. You
I
can't change
agree.
that, bro. Whichever way
Yeah, I
you flip
agree.
it,
We're all
you can't
Mexican.
change that.
Yeah.
And we have rights. And we have rights because this was our country. They're trying to kick us out of our land. This is not going to work out for them. We're never going to leave. We're going to start multiplying even faster now because they're trying to do that. I was in prison in 2001 with 3 senators and a lawyer from the White House. And that lawyer said the big Bush, the older Bush, made a little meeting saying that they needed to start taking us out of the country because we were going to take over the country within 50 years because we multiply faster than them. That's their fucking biggest fear, bro. That's their biggest fear. We need to wave our flag because that's our heritage, that's our people, and nobody can take that away from us, ever. Thank you.
We never said that. We can waive it. Okay, so Heidi, you're new here. You're a new
I'm
guest
gonna
here.
tell
So
you,
what do you think about the prompt?
John, why it's important to waive both. Okay. When I first moved to LA, I worked for the company who made the train in Crenshaw, and the federal government makes you upload pictures every single day, and of the construction, right, the construction sites and the workers, etc., right. So there were certain amount of pictures that were sent to me and I would upload them. When I uploaded those pictures were black and white, and in those black and white pictures you couldn't tell that the workers were Mexican. And I thought to myself, wow, if in 10 years from now they want to say that it was a whole bunch of white people, or 20 or 50 years from now, or 100 years from now, they wanted to say that it was only Americans or only Caucasian men who built that train, they could, because you couldn't tell the difference in these black and white photos. You would actually think it was maybe a bunch of Caucasian men working hard out there. So Historically, Mexicans have made a lot of changes to this country and they have stood up against a lot of injustices, right? As we know, segregation started with Mexican families fighting against it, and we broke segregation. The GI Bill, which pays the university for the soldiers, it was due to a Mexican. Equal rights in education and in the military was due to Mexicans, right? So what's happening right now, what has been happening, has been an injustice to Latino culture. And Mexicans have given the forefront to this fight. 1.5 million Mexican Americans came out in in LA County, okay, in the last protest. Imagine if tomorrow they twist it and they say, and we don't have any Mexican flag out there, and they say, you know what? These Mexicans were so dumb that we Caucasians had to fight for them, and they just throw some black and white pictures. We're not going to know that it was our own people who fought that. So we have to leave a stamp. We need to remind everybody who stands up every time there's an injustice. And it's been us.
Damn
So
right.
yes, we have to go and flag both flags. We need to stamp it. Yes, it's the Mexican who is giving the forefront to this injustice. And in
Yes,
the history
ma'am.
of tomorrow, when it's told that this injustice was done, they need to remember, yeah, and 1.5 million Mexicans in LA came
Yes,
out.
ma'am. Thank you.
That's the truth, but that's what the host has been saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
we may disagree on certain things, right? But you know, the we have to find a solution at the end of the day, man. I agree with everything you guys are saying, but
Bro,
the solution, man, the solution is we need to push amnesty, bro. That's what we really need to do, bro.
look,
Absolutely.
That's what's gonna benefit our country. That's what's gonna benefit our people. That's gonna for real mejorar la raza, bro. You know what I'm
what's
saying? It's
up,
like
carnal?
the
If a
Chicano
person,
movement, it happened so long ago. He's right. People are tired of hearing it. But that's our culture. That's
it's
where
a
we
new
come from,
page.
right? But we
It's
gotta
our
turn the
turn.
new page. Exactly,
It's our
homie. That's what
turn.
I'm saying.
We need
Now
to
it's
write
our
history.
turn, bro.
We need to
Exactly.
rewrite history. We need
That's
to
what I'm
make the
trying to
front
say. Yup.
pages. We need to change this motherfucker. With all
Exactly,
due
bro.
Yeah, we
respect.
make the rules. At the end of
And
the day, we're the
listen,
ones that are gonna make the rules,
this
and the
is
U.S. government is gonna
this is what we
obey
need
them.
to this is what we need to demand. If a person is here 5 years and no crimes are committed and he's a model citizen, they need to give him a work permit. After 10
Exactly.
years, they need to give him
Yup.
a green card. After 20
Yup.
years, they need to give him a citizenship.
I don't.
That's
Yup.
it.
I don't
No
think
ways
20,
around
20
it.
years is
We
too long.
Well, I
cannot
mean, that's
stand
too
for
long,
less.
20
but
years is too
but
long to
I
gain
get the pass.
citizenship.
I
I
get
would
the
say
pass,
like
bro. But
I
that's
would
5 years.
that's forever.
5
But I
years
get
should
it.
be a good. Wait 5 years.
5 years, 10, and
Showing you
Yeah.
pay
15, bro.
taxes.
Just
You're a
increments of
productive
5.
United States citizen. You deserve
Yeah,
to be
that's too
born a
much. Hey,
citizen.
bro. When you said 5, I was like, okay, and then you went 10. I was like, all right, and then you're like
No, I
fucking
mean
20.
And
I
then
was
you're
like,
like
damn, bro,
20.
I think
chill.
5
see,
years is
see,
good
but
to
people right
gain
now, bro,
citizenship. 5
people
years is
right
a
now,
good
they're
wait.
asking for like amnesty and like kibbles and bits, bro. We don't need kibbles and bits. This was our fucking land.
Right.
We need
Yeah,
citizenship.
Right.
We need the whole
Native rights
thing,
like the
bro.
Absolutely.
Indians.
Yeah.
Native rights like
Just
the
like those
Absolutely, man.
Indians.
treaties, bro, that they didn't
Right.
uphold. What
Right.
happens
Native
when
rights.
Right.
Native
what
rights like
Right.
the
Well,
Indians, bro. Native
exactly what
well, we
American
happens
are
when
Act,
you don't?
fucking.
1924 Native
Listen, man.
American Act
We
gives us
are
that
Indians.
right.
We are native, bro.
We exactly, man. We are Native Americans, man, and we should deserve that. We should be treated as such. We shouldn't be able to listen, man. This is our goddamn continent. We're indigenous from Alaska all the way to Argentina. We shouldn't be able to be treated like foreigners. We're not fucking foreigners. We're home. This is our goddamn country.
Yeah,
So yeah, I agree, man.
I agree. How are
That
we going to be
division
treated
that
as
the
Absolutely.
government
second-class
created.
citizens? How are we going to be treated as second-class citizens on our own fucking land that we are truly connected to?
Right.
We domesticated
Right.
our own crops on these lands. El maíz, aguacate, jitomate. We created those crops for our people. We built pyramids and observatories for our people. We were smart already. We were civilized already. How are we going to be
Unity,
treated as
bro.
second-class citizens and show
We
that
need to
we're
stop
inferior
fighting each other.
to the colonizer?
We need to stop fighting each other,
It's cause
bro.
it's
We need
cause there's
more
so
unity.
much raza that divides themselves. Oh, like I'm this, or I believe in that, or I believe in this. Nah, bro, it's not even about us. It's about the people that they're taking, homie. Right? That's what it's about. The
It's
people
not
that don't
about
have
the
a voice,
outside.
the people that have no due process, bro. That they're picking up, bro. Workers, bro, in construction sites, in the courthouses, bro. That's weak, bro. That's weak. You're saying that they're criminals, but they're going to the court
I've done
hearings,
time before,
right?
bro, and I understand if you break the law, we got consequences. But if a motherfucker's trying to better himself and give a better future to their family, they need to give them a break. Stop fucking with them.
Now, bro, what about the criminals here, bro? What about the president? That's the biggest criminal of them all,
I know.
bro.
I
Oh
That's
yeah,
know.
just
he's a
bullshit, homie.
charge.
I
He's a
couldn't even
charged
get
felon.
into Uber,
He's a
bro.
convicted
I couldn't
felon,
even get
literally.
into Uber, and this motherfucker made president because of my prior. That's crazy. I couldn't get into
Yo,
Uber
tap
because
tap
of my
tap,
prior.
guys. We got 90
This guy
views.
made president.
People
this
saying why can't
racist,
they build
this
up Mexico? You want to listen to that narrative that Mexico's a third world country, bro. You want to listen to the cartels run the government over there, bro. Bro, look at here.
Bro, I
People
live
are
in
dying
Tijuana,
off
bro.
of that. You know what? Here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Every day, bro. Like there's gangs around here in the United States as well. You say
Bro,
Mexican government's corrupt, the United States government's corrupt too, boy. Like what you
bro,
talking
my
about, man?
dad brought me
Oh,
down to
absolutely.
Tijuana when I was 13. By the time I hit 13, I was shot at over there. I was robbed. They took my bike. A gang of shit happened to me over there. As soon as I hit TJ, bro, none of that shit. It's fucking safe as fuck out here. Never been robbed, never been shot at, nothing. I've been here 40 some years. It's safe as
There's a lot.
fuck. Whenever you guys want
There's
to
a
come
lot of
down, hit me up.
misinformation, bro. There's a lot of misinformation, from our own people, bro. Did you hear
They,
that Christian guy right now come up from Tijuana saying that, talking shit like
yeah, that's why I wanted to get up here so I could talk to him.
yeah, well, I'm glad Jaguar got him off the panel because those are the kind of people that we should not give no voice to, man. They're
Exactly.
they're they're coconuts. You know what I mean? They're
Oh
whitewash.
yeah,
Son
absolutely.
Whether we like to,
gusanos.
See
yeah,
the government that's in here right now, bro. They're trying and they're doing the best that they can, but the old government is not letting them. They are putting in a lot of work. They are making a lot of changes. If you look at the Mexican news, they're busting people every day from all the cartels. How many gun
Wait, hold
dealers
on.
has?
Don't say the G word.
Oh,
Don't say
my
the
bad.
C word.
My bad.
Say pew pew.
How many
Say
pew pew
pew pew.
dealers?
Yeah.
How many pew pew dealers has Donald Trump busted?
none.
None. In fact, he let him
Oh
fucking
wait, didn't he
in.
let the
Did you
Sinaloa
hear what she
viewers?
did with El Chapo's family? He let him
Yeah,
in.
Oh, he let him
yeah,
in.
Yeah.
yeah.
Really?
Active,
Open arms.
active
Because he's
cartel
working.
Fucking
He's
pendejo,
working.
you let him in.
You know what he's doing? He's
Oh yeah, and
he's
he's
trading. He's finally
Ukrainian,
trading the
Ukrainian,
information, bro.
the the white South African refugees, and then the Ukrainian refugees. They all got expedited in terms of getting amnesty in the United States. Like, come
He's
on, guys, we can do
supposedly
better. We
And
gotta
and,
stop
and the
waving.
white
We gotta stop
deporting
just
Africans, bro.
waving the
criminals.
What about
Mexican
the white
flag.
Africans, bro?
We gotta stop just waving the Mexican flag. We know better. We like the metaphor I mentioned before. We are literally dogs chasing our own tail. This tactic of activism is not working. We need to show that we
Right.
are proud to be
Bro,
Americans. That we love the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. All men are created equal. You can wave the Mexican flag, but make sure you also wave that
I don't
American
even.
flag
I have
and show
a
you that you're
couple of
bilingual. You know
ideas.
English.
I have a couple of ideas. If we close down or if we go down and protest at the airports, a lot of the rich folks go out of airports. If you start messing with their agenda, they start calling the politicians and telling them to get some things passed because they're messing with the agendas. The ports where they receive all the goods from overseas, those two, we got to start closing down strategic places where it affects their pocket in order to get changes. So if we just stand around in regular places, it's not going to affect their pocket. They're not going to make any changes. Once it
Right,
affects
we
the
should
big
go to
guys,
LAX. No,
yeah,
yeah, I agree, man. We should go to fuck it. Let's
the
go to
port,
LAX.
the port,
Yeah,
Long
let's
Beach
let's go to
port,
the port of Seattle. Fuck yeah, man. Let's
close the
fucking
motherfucking ports, close the airports for an
right,
hour every day
right.
until we get some changes. That's where it's at.
Definitely.
It's our right.
We should
It's
boycott.
yeah,
If you're
it's
dude.
our right to
Latino, if you're
protest.
Mexican American working at the
Matos,
airport,
but we
boycott
gotta
it.
be peaceful
If you're in
though.
LAX,
Anybody
most
that's
Lat-
acting wild, everybody holding hands like fucking, we're not holding weapons, we're not holding nothing. They have no reason to use violence. And anybody that starts acting the fool, the mass fools that are coming, the right wings or the opposite motherfuckers that are trying to fuck it up, as soon as they start acting stupid, go grab them on a headlock, do a citizen's arrest, and cuff his ass up.
Hey,
All our
Sinaloa,
meetings, all our
let me
meetings need to be peaceful.
let me
yeah,
Peaceful.
say
peaceful
let me
protests. I do
say
not condone violence or
let me
violent
say
protests.
something. Let me say something
Yeah,
about that.
peaceful.
When the LA walkouts, well, with the LA protests that happen right now, LAPD considered it a success because they only had like one or two reports or something like that out of 1.5 million people. That's amazing.
I
Okay,
doubt it. They're just trying to
no,
calm us down. They're
Yes,
part
it
of
is.
the government, U.S. government.
But
no,
it's
no,
part of
no.
the
They literally
politics.
said that. They literally said what they did, the protest that they did was a success. LAPD considers it a success because they didn't do anything wrong. There was only two incidents. But I'll tell you guys something. Be careful when you
Oh,
guys are out there protesting because there are government agents infiltrated that go
oh
in,
yeah,
and
agitators.
sometimes they will be the ones who
They
start the
sabotage.
trouble
Yeah, they
so that
sabotage.
they mess up the protest. So be
Yup.
careful in two ways.
We got
One, if you're out there protesting and you see that, okay, be careful not to join in, okay? You can call the cops immediately and say, hey, you know what? This is happening. The rest of us are not part of it, you know?
Yeah,
Make
don't
sure that
fall
you
for the
clear that up.
tricks.
And secondly, when you see it on the news the next day, don't be too quick to be like, oh, see, we always fuck up. See, Mexicans can't do shit right because we fucking go and we make a mess. Don't do that because it could be the same government doing that so that we look bad. And by us, okay, going along with it and making it even popular and talking about it in lives and posting pictures and being like, see what we Mexicans do, somos un desmadre, que blah blah. When we do that shit, we fall for their agenda. So
right.
we need to become
Don't
smart.
help them
Not
make
become
us
smart,
look.
but we need to be smart in
Don't
regards
Yeah.
to
make.
all these
Don't
things.
help
So
them make us look bad.
people are saying that protesting does nothing, right?
Who
Let me
said
tell you
that?
what
Oh
protesting
yeah,
people in the
we're not
comments.
just
Let,
doing
let,
peaceful
God.
No, no, no.
let,
I'm
let,
not
let-
just
Take
promoting.
that.
No,
Wait,
it's
hold on,
not.
hold
Take,
on, hold
take
on.
that.
I'm not just promoting peaceful protests. I'm also promoting boycotts. Don't go to McDonald's. Don't buy Coca-Cola. Don't buy all these American products. Buy within small businesses that are owned by Latinos or Mexicans.
Look,
Go
brother.
on strike.
What I
Oh,
was
there's
saying.
Yo,
another
I wanted to
technique.
finish my point real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So protesting also just gathers all our people, right? You see, all our people. That's what we need. We need the numbers. We need to unite. We need to pass the word. That's what protesting does more than anything. It gets our voice heard. You know what I'm saying?
And
We're
it shows that we
demanding
have
being heard,
power.
Oh
right?
yeah,
You,
and we'll
you,
get our
we're
voice
gonna
heard
get
even.
eyes on us, and we use that platform to inform other people. Hey, look, you guys are not by yourselves. Stand up, and all it takes is one person, man, and then another
Yeah,
person will stand up,
raise your
and then
voice. You
another
gotta speak
person.
out.
You know?
You gotta speak up.
I
Raise
just
your
want to
voice.
bring
You can
something
also
up real quick.
another a form of activism is going on strike.
Look,
Like what like Sinaloa mentioned. Like if you're Mexican American working at the airport, don't show up the next morning and then scream at the top of your lungs. Get your voice heard and say, I want amnesty, 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 amnesty for all undocumented Mexican and Latino immigrants.
4th of July is right around the corner,
Don't
bro.
if you don't
Boycotts,
agree
bros.
if you
4th
don't
of
if you
July is
don't
right around the corner.
if you don't do
Independence
that,
from
I'm
these
not going to work
motherfuckers.
to the airport so you can bring in more white immigrants illegally into the United States.
Well, here's another idea. I'm kind of for it. I'm kind of against it because it can hurt our people. But I also think it would make a statement. Why don't we go to the port of entry, man, and block all of these Anglos from taking vacations
Oh
in
yeah, the
Mexico?
airport. Yeah, they
Dude,
usually
don't
take
let
the
them
airport. They
go,
go to
go to the
Cancun
port.
and Tulum.
Well, a lot of these gringos drive too. So
Yeah,
let's go
Rosarito
to
as
these.
well.
Let's go to the right? Let's go to the port of entry, man, and let's stand.
And
There's
return all the
places.
gringos, huh?
Let's stand in the way of these cars. Let's block the bridge. Let's go there to the border, man,
And
and let's
only
have
the Mexicans
protests
can go to
And
there.
have that
Mexico, and
American
all the
flag
gringos can go
ready.
Right,
back.
right,
Have that
right,
American
right.
flag ready.
So the Mexicans can come in. We'll be
Well, that would
strategic
be cool
about
as
it.
fuck.
We'll let the Mexicans come in, but we won't let any of the fucking white people go out.
Flip the
What do
script on
y'all
their
think?
ass, huh?
Right, 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 right.
Let me
bro.
give out let me give out this statistic, bro. In the last 10 years, immigration from Mexico to the United States has decreased to 70%, and the immigration from United States to Mexico in the last 5 years has increased to
Fuck yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you have your
Fuck
expats in
yeah.
Mexico City who are, exploiting the population and they're raising their rents.
Bro,
Oh yeah, they're
And that's
So
raising
the
just one
people
prices.
that
city.
don't
They're
And
making
you
know
know
everything
why,
the
right?
expensive
power
for the
of
locals.
Mexico,
Literally everything
Yeah,
is expensive
because
for
you
the
never
locals
own
in
check
Mexico
nothing
this out.
City.
I have an
in this
idea.
country. You never own anything. Nothing's ever yours.
Fourth of
In
July.
Mexico, you buy a land, it's your land.
The 4th of July, Independence Day. We need to claim independence against this fucker right here. I was thinking
We
if
should
we
do a
could all
protest, mass
take.
protest on 4th of July. Why
No,
not? Wave that
listen.
American
Uh,
flag
watch
proudly
out.
and the Mexican
4th of
one right
July.
there. 4th of
That whole
July.
week. It's a
All men are
Friday.
created equal. We are U.S. citizens also, and we want amnesty. And
Listen, 4th of July. If we take that whole week off, the whole fucking week, everybody, all the Mexicans, all the Hispanics, all the Latinos, all the Chicanos, all the Pochos, everybody, take that week off so they can
tap
notice
tap
and
tap,
see.
guys. We reach over the 100 mark,
So they
100
know
view
and they
mark.
see
Tap tap
that
tap
they
tap the
really
screen.
do need us.
You try to sneak in bochos in there, bro? Ain't no way.
Everybody, bro. Everybody.
Wait, hold up! Everybody, tap the screen. We reached over 100 views.
Hey, Sana, you made a good point though, for sure. A lot of these people who talk crap about our people, they're going to Mexico, trying to buy properties there, trying to eat our food, listen to our music, mate with our people. Like
That
it just
part right
highlights like
there.
the hypocrisy of a lot of these people who don't even want us here.
Yeah, they love our women. They love our food. They love, you know, it's just crazy, man. And I gotta give credit where credit is due. Jag and Womp got me onto some crazy shit that I didn't know about before, bro. But that's a different topic for a different life.
No, and it's true because and a lot of them are
No,
going over there because I mean, yeah, it is cheaper to have a home in Mexico,
Oh,
and that's
I own
also
my
a
own
failure of the U.S. government
house.
for not taking care of their people. On top of that,
I own my own house and I have a lot
hey,
where I
bro,
could build
there's a
another
Cuban,
house.
you know how Cubans voted mainly for Trump, right? But I know a Cuban that came to the U.S. from Mexico, right? She first got to Mexico and then got to the United States. Well, she went back because she thought here in the States, bro, I got her a job and everything was cool, but she got bored. She said, "Man, here in the States sucks. Everything looks the same. All the houses are painted the same color. All the houses have the same roofs. And when I lived in Mexico for 2 years, it's full of color. It's full of even dogs are
Beautiful,
free. Here
brother.
in the States,
Mm,
your dogs are in prison. They cannot even go out on the streets." So she was all frustrated, bro.
no hay
She
cultura.
decided to go back.
Yeah, just think about it. People go and visit Mexico to vacation, this and that, bro. I don't, you know what I mean? No one's going to Arizona to vacation, bro. No
Hey
disrespect,
man, I,
but
I I
you know what I
grew up
mean?
in Arizona, so like
Whenever
My
you
bad.
guys want to come
it's all
It's
down,
the
you don't need a
fucking desert.
passport. You do not need a passport across the border. Just learn your social security number and your ID number. That's all you need. Learn
Right
it by
here
heart.
right here in Arizona, like you can go to the border towns, man. You can go to Nogales. You can go to even fucking Rocky Point, man. You just need your birth certificate, your driver's license, and they'll let you back in, man. You don't need a passport.
Even without it, I
I've
crossed
done it
without it,
nah.
before.
bro.
I still take it. I got
Oh,
pulled
dead
over
ass.
once.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they've gotten a
One
little bit
time I
more
was
stricter
so
My
now. The
license only.
Mexican government, they've gotten a little. You got to show some form of ID now. But yeah, man, yeah. That you don't need a
one time I was
passport.
so drunk coming from Rocky
Wait, wait,
Point,
wait.
bro. One time I was so drunk coming from Rocky Point, and I used by accident my mom's passport, and I was still able to come
Ah,
across, bro.
I la verga.
Andaba
That's
pedo,
funny.
bro. Andaba pedo. But it worked. It worked, bro. I didn't know I was using my mom's passport, bro.
They're like, fuck it, we'll just
That guy,
stamp it.
that guy. Oh my God, he got the point that it was my mom, cause same last name and everything, but he knew I was
The
drunk
guy
as
was
shit,
probably
bro.
drunker than you, bro.
Probably.
He was on a sicker one.
No shit. Bro,
Hey,
it's amazing how there's a bunch of Chicanos right here, Mexicanos, bro, and we all think
de todo
very
corazón,
different in many
carnalitos.
ways,
De todo
but
corazón,
we're
les
all
doy
on
las
the same.
gracias for standing up for our people. From the bottom of my heart, bro, with all the fucking blessings I could muster from the guy upstairs, I send them to every single one of you and your families. I'm gonna call it a night because I gotta work tomorrow.
Simon.
It's been a
All right,
pleasure
buenas
being here
noches.
with you
You
guys.
talking about protesting, bro? You're gonna work tomorrow, damn.
Bro, I gotta
Nah,
drive
yeah,
my
I know,
ass.
bro. What are you talking about? This is going on strike right now.
Right now.
The Fourth of
It's going on
July, bro.
strike, and
Let's
then
take
if
a
someone
week
tells
off.
you, what? How come you're not going
Fourth
to
of
work?
July, bro.
Well, because
Fourth of July.
amnesty.
We'll take a week
I'm for
off. Come over to
amnesty.
Tijuana and I'll make you a
I'm
carne
for
asada
amnesty
every
para la
fucking day for a
raza.
week.
Hell yeah, that sounds
Amnesty
cool.
I'm
para
up
la
for it.
raza.
Come to Tijuana. Hit me up on the download and fucking I'll give you my number. And 4th of July, we take a week off and we'll come over here and we'll fucking party our asses off Mexican style. On me.
Carne asada.
Sinaloa people style. Carne asada, carnitas, birria, tacos,
Pastor.
everything, bro. Everything authentic
Pozole.
Mexican. Simón, pozole,
Quesadillas.
menudo,
Hell yeah.
enchiladas.
With La Banda en Vivo.
I can't afford that, bro, but I can afford the food. But if we all pitch in, we
Alright.
can probably get it.
Hey,
Alright.
bro, La Banda is still $300 an hour, bro, in Tijuana, or
It
is
all
it more?
depends who you know and what banda, bro. If you want to get the real banda, you got to spend at least $1,000 an hour.
What, bro? It's been like $50 an hour in Hermosillo.
Damn,
Yeah, but those are the
for an
cheapy
hour.
bandas. If you
Yeah,
want
but
the
you're
real
talking
banda,
about Tijuana, bro.
expensive.
You're talking about some artists,
I
bro. You know what I
guess,
mean?
but Hermosillo is like the
Aye,
music capital of Mexico, so I mean, we got a lot of people over here.
Yeah, fellas. Well, if you guys ever feel like you guys want to come out here and explore, hit me up a couple
Yeah, I
of
gotta
days before
travel.
so that I could take a day off and I'll show you guys around. I've been here long enough to where they don't even fuck with me no more.
I
Hell
like your
yeah.
content, Sinaloa. We're friends on TikTok, so I'm glad we're here sharing in this live, bro. Thank you.
Yes,
I
bro.
like your
I
content.
try to put it out there for everybody. You know, my heart speaks out, and I just write it down or put it on a video, and that's what I follow. I follow my heart. I don't follow numbers. I don't follow politics. I don't follow religion. I follow God.
You got that right.
So
I follow you too,
Well, I'm an
Roberto. I didn't
atheist.
follow
I do
you. I
not
think we're
preach
friends on
any kind of
TikTok.
religion.
yeah,
I'm for
yeah,
freedom of
we're
religion.
we're friends.
We're all for freedom of religion. Again, we're for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. We're all men
Sure,
are
we're here
created
for that
equal.
raza.
It's
Yep.
okay to be
But
an
that raza and
atheist.
everybody else is being oppressed.
It's okay to
Yeah,
be
we're here
a
for the
polytheist.
betterment of our people, bro.
Freedom
We're
of religion.
indigenous.
We are Americans
We're
here.
indigenous to this land, bro. We're native, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. They need to get the fuck out of here. We ain't
So,
Right.
going
Right.
nowhere.
They're the fucking squatters, the
Yep.
freeloaders, the
Fucking
fucking
squatters.
rapists, the fucking smurderers.
Yeah.
yeah, and they
You know,
they can get
they
mad
were
all
the
they
bad
want,
ones,
man. They
not
can get
us.
mad all they want. They're the
And
ones
just
who
for you, Donald Trump, viva Mexico
who
a la verga, puto.
yeah, hell
Buenas
yeah.
noches,
They're the ones who
señores.
wanted this, bro. And now
Wait,
it's at their
what? Did you
doorstep.
say?
So
Not Donald Trump is the enemy. Like, what are you talking about?
Buenas noches, señores y señoritas. God bless y'all.
He's
yeah,
against
That's
us.
all, bro.
he said
He's
F. He
against
said
us.
F Donald Trump, bro.
Oh,
Yes,
he
sir.
did. Oh, I thought he was like praising
Oh,
him.
no,
My
he
bad.
told him
No,
to
hell
hell
nah, bro.
nah. Nah. You got me fucked up.
Imagine, bro, on the way out, he said some shit like
Yeah,
that.
he's just troll the whole time.
Hell nah.
Thanks for the buena vibra, Sinaloa.
Sí, sí, y viva Claudia Sheinbaum también en la cuarta. We're doing it.
Absolutely,
We're
bro.
gonna change it
Arriba,
up.
Yeah,
It's gonna be.
arriba
everybody.
Sinaloa, arriba Claudia, arriba Morena, you know.
Yep, let's do it. Give them a chance. They're gonna make it happen.
Come on, John Zapata the third. Why you like trompas, fool?
Bro, see, this is what the opposition doesn't want, bro. That here we are, thinking different, but then going towards the same direction. You know what I mean? It's all good
Right.
vibes. Our hearts are in a good place. We want justice. That's all what we want. So this is what we should shoot for all the time, man. You know, it's hard to have so many people with strong minds, walk towards the same direction, but it's not impossible.
You know
That's
what's
it.
worse than a European, bro, colonizer, Latino for Trump, bro.
Those are Cubans in
Listen,
Miami for you, bro. Cubans in
listen.
Miami.
I'm gonna tell you something, okay? I don't even care if you voted Republican, okay? As long as you uphold your Republican politicians, okay? There's no reason why your Republican politician should be out there saying when Mexico sends its people. First of all, the Mexican government has never sent people to the United States, okay? On the contrary, the United States has gone to Mexico to bring people. Historically, it has happened. Okay, so as long as we uphold them to not lie, okay, to not target us in speeches, okay, that's the real issue. I don't care who you vote for. I understand people saying, you know what, I'm against abortion, for example. I understand that. I also don't think it's okay for women to have like a, what is it, like a anytime, any day, I'm gonna go in and do this. Why? Because we have birth control. We have the right to say no, we're not having sex right now because I haven't taken my birth control. So we also have to hold accountability for the things that we do and the actions it brings. Okay, so when it comes to that, I get it when people said, oh, you know what, they're trying to bring this agenda of men with men and women with women to children. Okay, fine, I get that part. But you know what, don't be a freaking little coward and let your damn politician go and point at your people constantly and target your people. Uphold him. If you're going to be a Republican and say, I'm against this, but you know what? I'm also against the injustice that's being done to my people. And that's when we're going to see changes because the Republicans and the Democrat politicians are both going to realize that we're not easy people to target. Okay, but the fact that we're sitting here and we're having a conversation of if Mexicans should bring their flag or not, it shows you the power and the amount of brainwash that they've done to our people. Do you see Irish people having a life like this? Never, because their flag is not questioned. Do you see Canadians or any other type of European having a life like this? Zero, because their
yeah.
flags are not
Well, they're accepted.
targeted.
They're accepted as YT Americans. So like, yeah, it's
But
a whole
it's
different.
not
It's not a
okay.
comparison. You can't
But
compare us
it's
to
but
YT
it's
other
not.
YT
You
immigrants.
damn right we could, because
We
it's
got
not
double
okay,
standard.
Ja.
We got a double standard for us.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We
We
definitely got a
can't.
double standard for us at ASA. Cause
Yeah, but we can't give that. We can't give them the power. You
And you
understand?
know what,
oh yeah, we
California,
gotta
you
fight
know what's
back. We gotta
crazy?
show that
And you
we
know
are
what's
also
even
United
crazy?
States citizens. We are
You,
also
you know what's even
we want
crazier
justice
than
and
what?
freedom, and
That when we fill out documentation, we still gotta put white.
No, we don't. No, we
Well,
don't.
no, we can
I
Yeah,
can
we
as a
down.
no,
race,
no, no,
Listen,
you
man.
don't
No,
have to.
no,
It's
we
optional.
don't.
It's
as a
optional. You
Yeah,
don't
you can
race,
have
put
to,
other.
and we should
I
stop
could put
doing
I
that.
other.
put
as a
no,
race.
nope. I put
Listen,
American Indian down. Listen, man. You don't have. Nobody's forcing you to put down white. Nobody's forcing you to choose Hispanic. Nobody's forcing you uh, to even identify by race, man. No, no, you don't got to choose white. Fuck that, man. Because we're not just fucking white. We're
I
fucking
know you're not
indigenous to this
for it, but what
country.
I'm
This
saying,
country too, man.
I
Yeah,
agree.
Don't
But
you
what
condition
I'm
can you can
saying,
stay.
no,
to
no.
their definition, man.
What I'm saying,
Don't
Okay,
let them
so guys, I'm
what
define
gonna
I'm
us.
saying is
rotate.
that we can.
Guys, get to the okay. So Sana, finish your point, and then I'm gonna start rotating. We got a new guest here, Lightning. So you go, and then I'm gonna have
Yeah,
Lightning
really quick.
respond to the
What I'm
prompt.
saying. Okay, really quick. What I'm with you, Juan. But what I'm saying this is the hypocrisy of these people. Like right now, I agree with Jaguar what he said. We're seen as a second class citizen, but yet in official paperwork, they have us there as white. Whether you want to mark it or not, they see us racially as white people. I mean, I'm talking us mestizos, Mexicans, but we can cross whatever we want. You know what I mean? We can put other and put Native American. I agree with you.
Yeah, we
I'm
can
just
put a
saying.
Hispanic and Native American. That's what we should be doing because we are Native American. We're indigenous. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
heavy, bro. They just
Yeah.
messed
So
up,
so
bro.
lightning.
They fucked up,
What do you
bro.
think about the prompt? Should Mexican Americans only wave the flag, the Mexican flag, or should they wave both the Mexican and the United States flag?
First of all, good morning. I think they should raise both of them. We should raise both flags. That's
Yeah, I agree.
It's just we show a little respect for this country. We show respect for Mexico because at the end of the day, we're Mexican Americans, right? So
Yeah,
we show respect for both flags, and I think that should be okay. But if you want to change minds, as far as white tea people, then you go with the American flag only. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
man, you still
disagree.
gotta, you
I
still
think we
gotta
should both.
represent
I
La
think we should
Raza,
waive
man.
both, regardless of who's watching. We should waive both the Mexican and the United States. I don't
I
think we
want
should
to
just
ask.
wave. I don't think we should just wave the American flag because then we're gonna portray that propaganda of like us being pro-Trumpers because Latinos for Trump do that all the time. So we don't want to
Or
lump ourselves with them.
I have a quick question for you guys. Protest is always good, right? But with the current situation of ICE going everywhere, do Chicanos
Wait, say the
go
agents. Don't say the actual word. Say
the what?
like the agents, or or
Okay, the
stormtroopers.
age
You gotta
the
use
store.
like TikTok friendly like language.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Sorry about that.
Like
The
if you think it's gonna be like a controversial word, just put like a different letter,
Yeah,
like
she said that all the
murder on.
agents or like
Yeah,
stormtroopers
shit like
yeah,
or
that.
something like that. Yeah.
stormtroopers. Should we keep most of our people that are undocumented? Should we keep them home and not let them go protest, and us Chicanos take the lead on this, or do we
Oh,
risk
we
them?
have to. It's inevitable.
Or
We have to. We have to. Us Mexican Americans have to be on those streets because we're citizens. You know, they're not gonna do anything to us. So
right,
we have
but at
to
the
speak
at,
out for all Mexicans, regardless of immigration status, and again push those policies. You know, amnesty for all undocumented Mexican and Latino immigrants. You know, and we can, and
right.
so forth. We can go on from there. So propose more policies to the U.S. government.
So
Making
then,
sure, hopefully, yeah, they hear us out
so then
and
we should
agree
do
with it.
two protests at the same time: economic protest and out on the streets protest, right?
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah,
our
definitely
undocumented,
boycotts.
our
Boycotts going on strike.
undocumented people should support us with, major stores like Walmart, Target, and the rest of the fuckers, and then they'll get the government's attention. Because this time that they did it, Target did get hit a little bit, but not enough for them to complain to the government. You know what I mean? So we should extend that and have our people just join us in that. And also to the mom and pops, yeah, we're gonna buy there, but don't fucking rape us with the prices either. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Bro,
bro.
don't say the
Fuck, bro.
don't say the
That
R
fool
word.
went hard, bro.
Don't say the
What the
gar
hell?
word, bro.
You're
One more
you're
warning.
going
Jesus
good,
fucking
and then
Christ.
Bro,
you
one
took
more
a
warning,
fucking
bro. If
left
you say
turn,
the R,
bro.
if you say
Holy
something
I know,
another
right?
say another controversial term, I'm gonna boo you.
Fuck,
It
man.
felt like you did that to my ear, fool.
You should know this, bro. If you're on TikTok, your profile pic
Jesus
is big, bro.
Christ.
You should know you can't say that R word. So
Listen, man, I
yeah,
get it. We're getting
we got a
raped
new
with the
person.
prices, but come
Doc,
on, man. We gotta support La Raza, man. Even if it comes out of our pocket, we gotta be
Yeah,
better
nah,
as a community about doing
nah,
that.
bro. Like, I start definitely, bro. Like, we're throwing money at McDonald's, bro. Like, throwing
Right.
money at all these American
Fucking
companies,
shitty
bro.
ass
You don't want
Anglo
to, you don't want to
food, man.
support the, you don't want to support the lady, homie, selling the tamales, the burritos,
Oh
bro.
yeah,
You know,
definitely.
handmade y todo, homie.
The
Come on,
tamales,
bro.
But
the
that's not what
Yeah,
I'm saying. That's not
Cuban
what I'm
dish.
saying. I'm
no,
saying
I know
we're
you're
gonna
not saying
support them.
that. I'm not. I know you're not saying. I'm saying to the rest of our raza, bro. You know, like we
Yeah,
need to all like that needs to click, bro, and be like, yeah, you know, we need to support these businesses, bro. You know,
exactly. But those businesses have to like keep the prices the same way they have them now, not raise them up when it's a protest. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them did that.
but it's because there's a lot of bad gente, and you know that, bro.
Yeah,
So you know, support that's the you gotta find the good, bro. So you know you gotta find the where, you know what I mean. But just support your people, bro. It's at the end of the day, the intentions are always gonna be there. Your intention is to better your raza, right? It shouldn't matter. Anything else shouldn't matter after that, bro.
yeah. No, I get it. And on the topic, when you filling out a form, I always put other. I put other Mexican. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't put white tea or Hispanic or Latino. I put Mexican.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
I
we
don't
should
think that's.
also.
Yeah, we should
No
definitely
problem with
just
that, man.
put in the indigenous part as well. The
Yeah,
indigenous.
I think we should. I think we should claim the indigenous part because I think that really scares the fucking white people, man.
Yeah,
When they see those numbers, going up, and they see us identifying with that shit with pride, ooh, it makes them shake in their boots. So I don't know, man.
Yeah,
The,
no,
I
the
you're
reason,
right about
I'm
listen,
not
that.
saying you can't do
but I'm
that,
gonna,
but
but I'm gonna tell you why I don't put indigenous, even though I'm 50% indigenous, because I don't know my tribe, bro. So
yeah,
to
but
me,
that definition.
me personally is like doing a disservice to the indigenous people.
No, you're not though, right? Because because by checking that box, you're not stealing or taking away from tribal funds or tribal communities. No, you're not, man. That's just a number to self-identification. There's nothing wrong with that, man. And that definition was set up to limit who could identify as such. You understand that, right?
Well,
It's literally the
Juan,
definition of paper G side, man.
Juan, you know when you're like Latino of like African, Latino, white, Latino, you know how they did that in some of the applications of whatever, you know? I think an indigenous one should come up, and I think we should maybe, bring that up to the United States government and change that. And I'll tell you
I
why.
Great
Yeah,
Because
point,
it does mess
California.
up native numbers. It does. Because the
right.
government, what they're trying to figure out is, let's say, who in foster care from like the natives and tribes are in foster care in the United States. They're trying to figure those numbers out. So by a lot
No,
of
I
us inputting,
I understand.
you know,
What I think should exist is I think the definition needs to be changed. I think it should simply be the indigenous people of North, South, and Central America, and then there should be a box, one that says enrolled and one that says not enrolled. And I think us as mestizos, we should be able to check American Indian, and then underneath that, the not enrolled box. That way they can understand who is enrolled, like you
I
said, Callie,
agree
when
with
it
that.
comes to
yeah. They should
accurately
have a citation.
measuring tribe.
They should have like a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
citation on the side that says
Right,
non-enrolled, indigenous
right,
I
non-enrolled.
right.
agree. I
And
agree.
there's nothing
Mexicans
wrong
are
with
the
not being
native
enrolled.
people of the West
Right.
Coast.
There's nothing
and
wrong
we
with being
and
disconnected.
we
That's not our fault.
are, and by the way,
No, that's
we
not our
are
fault.
recognized
Exactly.
as such. We're recognized by the US government as the native people of the West
Right.
Coast alongside the Native Americans and reservations. That it's a fact. Now they need to put it on paper, right? Because
Yeah, I
somehow
agree.
they we don't have that on this list. I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah,
And
just
it's
simply
never
just the
too late to
box. Enrolled, not enrolled.
uh, it's never too late to connect. You know what I'm saying? You could always reconnect with your indigenous roots.
Right. I'm
No,
reconnecting right now, and
You
it's
know
it's
this.
hard, man. I'm not gonna lie and
it,
say it's
it
easy,
is,
but
but it's not
but
our
it's
fault. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, that part.
You know this tribalization is a true word. This tribalization. This is what the colonizers did on purpose. So we are here, trying to connect, but we're not connected. It's called this tribalization. Look it up. It's a real term. It's a real word. They did that with a purpose. So
All
we
right.
so yes.
Jay and Manuel, a lot of my friends think that they are Mexican, but after the DNA test, they are European. that unless both your parents were born in Europe or both your parents are Caucasian and they went and gave you birth in Mexico, you're,
Right.
you know, there's no
Right.
Yeah,
freaking way.
Mexico has birthright citizenship.
Most Mexicans have their blood is rooted in indigenous people so much that Mexican people call that the mother root of
Yep.
Mexico.
Right.
Okay,
Our
so this
culture is
entire
indigenous.
fantasy of Mexicans are European, it's a bunch of fucking bullshit just to wash off who we really are. Because like Josh
Yeah, we're
said,
mixed race.
and a lot of
Most of
like
us,
a lot
we're
of us are
mestizo,
saying
right?
here in the panel, what they have tried to do is kind of outroot us from the land. Because we are the only people aside of native people whose blood has ties to the land. So what they try to do is wash that off by feeding bullshit like that and say, no, if a Mexican is light skinned, they're European. That's not true. Did you know that
Oh yeah, there's a
there
lot of.
was
Oh yeah,
light skinned
there's literally evidence on
natives?
TikTok. There are TikTok clips that show that there's a lot of like light skinned Mexicans, and they come out as like 80% indigenous. So being indigenous is something that's
Yeah.
genetic.
It's all rooted in
It's not a skin
white
color.
supremacy.
Yeah, well, my indigenous roots are Chichimecas, from central Mexico.
Yeah, I'm Huichol
Yeah.
from
Canelo's
Zacatecas.
example. Canelo, he's super light skinned, but his dad is mestizo. He has lots of indigenous DNA inside of him.
You know, I know son of a bitch for a while. That's why I came up here. He doesn't
Hey,
recognize me
thank
though.
you, brother. Thank you, brother. Yeah, you changed your name, right?
Yeah, like 3 times, bro.
You you're Doghound or what? Who are you?
JJ.
Oh, JJ Mark.
Yeah.
See, I know you. I recognize your voice. I just couldn't remember which one were you. Yeah, what's up, brother?
Nothing. I'm just fucking working at 3 in the morning. So
We
I
listed Jaguars. I don't know if you noticed, Jaguar, when I came. I'm not saying because of me, but what I'm saying, when I came along, you only had like 10 people listening, and
Oh
you're
no,
doing
I
so
knew I was gonna
great,
go
and you
viral.
and
I
being
knew
so young,
No, I knew I was gonna go
you
viral.
know, and
I had
being
this idea.
and I
This I put this prompt. Right? I was watching a protest that was happening today, right, over the raid over in the
He
sweatshop.
always has a lot of
Like
people though.
I knew I
Not gonna
came up
lie.
with this idea, right? I saw the protest. I saw the Mexican flags, only the Mexican flag, which was disappointing, and I just popped in my head like, yo, there's a great prompt for a TikTok live. Should Mexican Americans wave the Mexican flag only at the Asians protest, anti some
and
people
Jaguar, even
protest,
though even
and
and
I
even
disagree,
you and I
and I don't think
think a
no.
little different,
I disagree with that. I think
Jaguar.
we should waive both the Mexican and the United States. We want to show them that we're also U.S. citizens. We want to be treated as first class citizens. At the end of the day, we were born and raised in America. We're Americans too. We pay taxes. We're citizens. All men are created equal. We gotta show that we know the Constitution. We know our rights. You know.
but here's the thing. It's you young people that are gonna be in charge of changing all that. Like Sana and myself, we're older. We're older than you guys. It's the new generation coming up that has that duty to change that the way we get treated here in the United States. Luckily, our people are getting more educated by the day. A lot of more Latinos, Mexicans are going to college, getting an education, and that's what it takes to
Oh,
change the system.
yeah. Again, I saw the fireworks going off and stuff like that. Like we also got
Hey, let
the
me
yeah, the burnouts. We gotta stop all that. We gotta stop showing that
let,
we're
let me
aggressive.
answer something on the comments. Okay, Americaner in 1975 says that this is American. We should only wave the American flag. Well, this is America. And I'm going to tell you, the native people of the West Coast are the natives and reservations and Mexicans. This is American. And let me tell you, this entire country, after the Mexican American War, was built on immigrants from all over the world. So you see the Irish flag outside of restaurants. You see the Italian flag outside of restaurants. You see Asians with their flags, and we all put a little grain to make this great country. Okay, and part of what makes this country great is the fact that there's a human being from all over the world who, and they all have equal rights, or at least they're supposed to.
Amen.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
so no, you don't get to tell me that I cannot wave my flag while there's 1,000 fucking restaurants who have their flag out. Okay, if you're gonna do that,
Oh,
I
that's
want
the
to see you
Italian. Go to New
outside every
York.
damn
Have the
hotel,
same energy in New
every
York.
damn restaurant. I want to see you outside of Bel Air, in front of all those hotels, showing the flags of everybody fucking worldwide. I want to fucking
Right.
see you do that. Until then, keep your mouth shut. You're making no sense.
Right, I agree. We should definitely raise it, man, because it scares the Anglos.
Yeah, and it's an
It
indigenous
really
flag.
It
Look at
fucking
the
does.
Aztec
scares
coat
them.
of arms. It literally has an Aztec coat of arms in the
But
center. That sign, that symbol,
right,
that was
that's
created by
badass.
us indigenous people,
You
us
know what gets them
Mexicans,
mad?
But
us
Us
Mexicans.
waving the American flag as well.
right, I
They
was
claim this
just
is their
about to
land,
say that.
and it just hurts them, you
I
know, to
was
see us
just about to
saying
say
this
that.
is our land. You know what I'm saying? That we're indigenous to the Americas, man. Like what? You know, that's what hurts them. That's what really pisses them off.
And because they
You
don't
know,
want us here, so
and when they refer
so
to America, you know, a lot of these people, we need to teach them. They don't know that Mexico is America, and they not even know that it's not only America. Mexico is North America, and if we want to go this further, Mexico, United States is not only the United States. Mexico is also the United States. So what the heck, you know? A lot of these people don't even know this. They just call America. This is America. You got to speak English. It's like Mexico is also America. Well,
Yeah,
this
we're
is
part of
North
North
America.
America. Mexico is
yeah.
literally part of
But
North America. We're
Yeah, Mexico's
neighbors.
literally part of
We're
America.
literally neighbors.
but
We're part
there's
of.
Jaguar, but this is what gets me, man. We are in the first world. This is the strongest economy of the world, right? We're the number one country in the world, yet we still have ignorant people thinking that we are only America. You know, they don't think Mexico is America, or they don't think Mexico is North America, or they don't think that Mexico is also United States because it's in their name. They're United States of Mexico. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
the
gotta
proper
educate
name
this
for
ignorant people.
Mexico.
It's a known fact that the United States doesn't have good grade school. Okay, so from kinder to 12th grade, we really suck in comparison to the world. Okay,
Yeah, bad.
they don't teach people a complete history. It's a European based history. Okay, they completely take out all Chicano studies until you get to university. Okay, so everything, there's a lot of things, even math. I remember when I was in sixth grade, my cousins in sixth grade in Mexico were able to do ninth grade math, and I didn't even learn that math until ninth grade. So I was 3 years behind as an American. Okay. And I'm older. This was many years ago. So this tells you something about our education. What we have is prime university. Once you get to the university level, we are the best in the world. But grade school, we are not. That's why it's important for Chicanos to leave all this bullshit aside that they're trying to throw at you guys right now when telling you guys that education is not important, that you now have YouTube, that education sucks. They're trying to dumb down
Well, yeah,
Americans.
because if you have a smart
That's
population,
that's the
that's dangerous
reason,
to them.
because it's gonna be easier to eat you guys. It's gonna be easier to turn you guys into slaves. It's gonna be easier to manipulate you guys. Okay, that's the reason why they're promoting that education sucks. It's really important that you guys get to
Get the
university.
fuck
Grade
out of my
school K to
country.
12 doesn't make sense, and it's not even good. Sorry.
No,
What was
why'd
You
you
that?
know
boot
what's
him? Wait, who
crazy?
booed him?
Oh no,
Wow, did you boot him?
Kyle, you were super
Invite
spot
him. No,
on,
no,
and
no, no,
that's
no.
No,
Invite him.
I didn't boot him. No,
Wait, who
no.
booted?
European
Oh, he
king.
left. He dropped. What a
Who
coward.
is that?
He
No,
thought we were
he
gonna
was a
boot him.
pussy.
Come on, we have
He was a
arguments here, bro.
pussy,
We're
so he
Mexican. We
left.
know how to
He left.
box. We know we're
Who is
fighters
that?
here. We're warriors
A
here, bro.
pilgrim.
We're not like we're
Gusano.
warriors here, but we're Aztec
Gross,
warriors.
the
We're not
pilgrim.
gonna come back up, Goopy. Come on, bring it on. You want the beef? Let's go. Let's go at it. We're Mexican. We're Aztec
You
warriors here.
Oh, you know what's
you know
funny?
what's
That he's
crazy?
trying to get
When
you
I
guys
went to
banned, and he
college,
might. That's why he came up and he said that word and came down.
No, he didn't say
So,
anything controversial though.
oh, okay.
Um, but yeah,
hey Fidel, what's up,
We
Fidel?
got Fidel
Nah,
Striker here. What do you think about the prompt, Fidel Striker? Yes or no?
Fidel is the goat.
Should Mexican Americans wave the Mexican flag? I just woke up, man. That's why I sound like this. Mexican flag at anti-ICE protest. I agree with Jaguar, man. I think if you're going to have be wavy the Mexican flag, you should have the North American flag side by side, right next to it, because you are in the United States.
Yeah, we're Americans.
You,
We're born and raised in America. You know, we have to show that we're also pay our taxes. We're law-abiding citizens. We're part of the working class for the most part. You know, we're part of the we occupy the blue field, the blue worker field. You know, the gray
We're the
field.
true
You know, nursing.
Americans.
Lots of Mexican American women. You know, they're in nursing. You know, they occupy the nursing industry and all that stuff. In hospitals. Um, yeah, like we're contributing to to American culture and the economy. Like we want to be treated as first class citizens too. You know, we have to let them know, and by
of course.
doing that, we have to show that we are also proud to be American. We gotta wave that American flag. You know, show that we know
Oh
English.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
there's
We
nothing
we
wrong with being
built
bilingual.
America
I'm not
too,
saying
man. The fuck?
yeah, I'm not saying you can't speak Spanish or wave the Mexican flag. Don't get me wrong. I'm for the First Amendment. You know, First Amendment freedom of speech. Like, nothing wrong with being bilingual. You know, waving that American Mexican flag. But if you're trying to be political and try to be treated as a first class citizen under the U.S. government, you have to represent them too. Show them that you're also proud to be American. You want to be You want those rights under the American state, those constitutional rights.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
I can agree with everything. You know, this is the one thing I don't agree with. For people to get up here and say, "Jay, if you don't like it, go back to your country." You know, that those are the kind of Chicanos that, to me, no respect, bro. To me, that mentality has to go out. We don't need to give voice to those people. You know what I mean? Like the guy that just came up right now and as a coward ran. He knew better, but
Oh yeah, he
we
left. He
should stay
dropped.
away
He was a
from this.
coward.
Well, it's low
It's just
IQ.
sad, bro.
It's low IQ and it's the weak, right? Why?
Yeah, they're
Because
just
for
weak.
years they have brainwashed us to think like this, right? They have us dancing around in the tip of their fingers. And I'll tell you why. Okay? Oh, if the US and Mexico went to war, which side are you going to choose? Why ask you that question? Are we at war? No. But the Chicano feels the need to answer that question. Like I said earlier, Irish flag gets thrown all over the place, okay, during that one holiday, okay? Does anybody question it? Didn't the Jewish people last year or two
Wait,
years
don't
ago?
say the J
Did,
word. Say
okay,
small
the
hat.
blue people, whatever.
And don't
Okay,
talk about them too much.
okay, hold on. Let, didn't they go out and protest near UCLA and it was a massive protest, okay, where they had their flags up? You didn't see them doing lives and being harassed for having their flags up. But you know why Mexicans are questioned that way? Because they psychologically want to make you feel uncomfortable for being you. So those Chicanos who go along with that and give that power are simply weak-minded people.
I agree a
Yeah, and they
hundred
should hear our
percent.
demands. You know, when we showed
Yeah.
up, we show in those protests. We also got to push that policies. You know, the main policy, and then and so forth, the other ones. But the main policy I came up with is amnesty, amnesty, amnesty for all undocumented Mexican and Latino immigrants. Boom. We have that
That's gonna be
American
so
flag
good
and
for our
Mexican flag
people,
right
man.
there in the crowd. We know we're ready. We know we got those speakers out.
It's about
Screaming
time.
out those
It's about
policies.
time.
We gotta have them policies, and so we can so we can be heard out. You know, by the U.S. government. They can hear us out. They're willing to
Also,
sit down in a negotiation table. They're willing to have a cup of tea with us and negotiate. That's what we want. We want.
and also take off all these laws that are like hurting our people. For example, there's the SB4 law that's it's out in Texas and it got passed in Louisiana that basically gives the right to any state police to stop and identify anybody that they suspect is an illegal immigrant. That's basic racial profiling at its finest. How can you tell somebody's an immigrant just by looking at them? You know,
Oh yeah, racial
it's just
profiling.
messed up.
The consequences of profiling should be like made worse, right?
Yeah.
more grave.
Yeah, and if you guys want to look up the law, man, it's SB4 in Texas, and it just got passed in Louisiana. We need to start, I don't know, man, what we got to do, but we got to get them off.
Oh yeah, Joey Luna, what are you talking about? Victim mentality. Who has a victim mentality? I'm gonna let you clarify. Go ahead and write it on the comments.
Wait, who said that?
A guy on the comments.
Okay, so first of all,
We're
we got
just
somebody on
letting
the
you
prompt. We
know.
got somebody waiting in the prompt right now. We have Joder. Joder, what do you think about the prompt? Yes or no?
Hello, let me present myself, please. My name is Claudia. I'm a mestizo or mestiza from Europe. I'm half Spanish, half German.
I knew it.
And
Wait.
you
You
knew it
know
from
her,
where?
Fidel Striker? Is she like?
No, I got a sense that she might be Spanish just by the first name,
Okay.
Joder.
Okay, so you're
Yes.
European, right? You've never set foot in the American continent, right?
I'm a mestizo or European, correct. My father is German and my mother is
Okay,
Spanish.
very interesting. We got somebody from a completely different perspective. So, what do you think? Do you think
Mhm.
Mexican Americans, should Mexican Americans wave the Mexican flag only at agent or stormtrooper protests?
They should wear their own flags where they want.
But do you think because they're trying to fight for justice and freedom within the United States government? So, do you think that they should also wave the American flag right beside the Mexican one?
I think you should wear whatever you want. That's it. If you want to wear only the Mexican, then wear only the Mexican. If you want to have
Okay,
the
so
both, then take the both.
Okay, so I disagree. I don't think we should promote that. They should just wave the one flag, the Mexican flag, because we are trying, like I said, we are trying to fight for rights under the United States
I
government.
understand it, but
So
that's the
if we're trying to
freedom
get
from
heard,
each person.
from them, if we want to, catch their ear, we have to show that we're also proud to be Americans. We know we're willing to assimilate to the culture. We know the language, so that
I know,
we
but
can invite them over.
I think that I came up because I hear from you, American, and I have been living 10 years in Germany, and I'm origin from Spain, okay? And for me, in my life, from I'm child, for me, American are from Argentina to Canada. They all are Americans.
Everyone who
Okay.
belongs to the American continent is American.
Okay,
American.
In
Yes, we know that.
it's just my concept, my understanding from be American. But in Germany, it's different. They understand that American are only they're from the United States of America, and I ask the people there, and they're from Argentina. What? A lot of people don't even know that Argentina exists. They think that's part from Spain or from Mexico. That means that the people in the United States, the people in Europe have been manipulated too. So I'm agree a lot with California what she says, but from my side in the continent. We
Okay, very
all
interesting.
have been
So you're
manipulated.
an immigrant, right, to Germany. So do you just wave the Spanish flag?
No. My father is German. My mother is Spanish. I grew up I've been born in Spain. I grew up in Spain, but the last 10 years I've been living in Germany because of the economy in Spain was very bad.
So what makes you mestizo?
And I have
You
two
you identify as
Yeah, you use the
as
term mestizo.
mestizo
Mestizo is a
because
term that directly means being mixed race of indigenous and Iberian Spanish. That's literally it. Just look it up. It's in the Webster's dictionary. That's what it means.
If when
So
I
don't.
go to Germany, they look at me if you are not from here. You don't have blue eyes, darling. And I say, I know. And they say, you have a very exotic accent. And I say, I know, because I'm from South Spain.
You're from Andalusia?
They don't identify,
It
they
is
don't
Andalusia?
see me as part from, yes, I'm from Andalusia. They don't see me of part from German as because I'm not grow up there. That's that's not ¿cómo se dice? Eso no es un insulto. It's the truth. I have
yeah, but Yeah, but
German blood.
mestizo typically means somebody who's
Oh,
mixed with
no. So the word
Iberian
mestizo
and
itself, Fidel, the word mestizo itself comes from mixticius, from Latin. Okay, and all it means, all that word meant in Latin was a mix of races. That's all. It's
Exacto.
not specific to something. It's just
yeah, but she's not
someone
mixed though.
of mix of. Well, she's saying she's German and Spanish, so she is
Yeah,
mixed.
but that's she's not of mixed
Do you understand?
races.
Do you one
She's
moment?
of
Do you
one
remember
race,
from the
white
second? Do you
race.
no
Yeah.
wait. Do you remember from the Germans movie from Adolfito from Adolf what they say? We are Aria.
Okay, so do not say the H word. Oh
But
my
that's
god.
different though.
Don't say the H
That's
word.
different though.
If you say it again, I'm gonna boot you. But we do got somebody, a new guest here. You can introduce yourself first if you like. But you can also just jump into the point. What do you think the prompt? Yes or no?
I apologize. I have a car close to me. I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
So yeah, you can introduce yourself if you like first. Or we can just get straight to the point. So what do you think about the prompt? Should Mexican Americans wave the Mexican flag only? Only? At
Well,
anti, stormtrooper or agent protests?
no, I mean, if this is Pacific and you guys just want to show the culture, I'm okay. I don't mind. And you have the freedom to do that in the United States. So, but the thing is, if you guys are requesting something to the government of the United States, it doesn't make sense that you show the flag of Mexico.
Yeah, I agree. You should waive both. I mean, there's nothing wrong because we believe in the First Amendment, freedom of speech, but you should
Right.
at least waive both, right? To show that
Well,
you want to be treated as a first-class citizen under the United States government. Get
mhm.
their ear, catch their ear there.
Like,
And once we catch their ear, we can push our policy. Amnesty for all undocumented Mexican and Latino immigrants, and then and so forth. So we can go from there. But first, we should do that policy. We get that policy passed first, in any way, shape, and form. That's our main goal. Make that.
yeah, about immigration is a lot of things that we should do it. We should do, but it's too much. Um, if you guys don't mind, I would like to um, tell you why people born in USA are called Americans. If you guys don't mind, okay, the continents and different countries are teach in different ways. Basically, depend of culture. In the I don't know how to say in English, anglosajones. Los anglosajones cuentan. They count 7 continents. So basically, North America, South America. En español, in Spanish, they count 5, right? The difference is that los anglosajones, they they count it depending of the, ¿cómo se llama la capa tectónica? ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? The tectonic, that thing,
Well,
right? So now I
Tectonic
have a
plates.
question. I have a question. The people that born on Mexico, they are called state union, state union or union state.
Yeah, so
yeah, they do. That the proper name for Mexico will be the United States
Estados
of
Unidos
Mexico.
Mexicanos. The United States actually stole
Pregunta.
that from Mexico, guys. Just FYI.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah,
always
the
steal.
I mean,
original
yeah, they
United
steal a lot
States
of things.
They
of
steal it.
¿Puedo
Yeah.
terminar?
Mexico are
May I
is the
finish?
name of Mexico.
May I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ok. Las personas que nacen en México se llaman Estados Unidos o se llaman mexicanos. O sea, es el gentilicio. ¿Verdad que no? Se llaman mexicanos. Estados Unidos de América. ¿Por qué se van a llamar los americanos Estados Unidos? El gentilicio no puede ser Estados Unidos.
Porque bajo el continente de las Américas eres americano hasta incluyéndote a ti mismo.
Te repito. El estudio de el estudio de los continentes varía dependiendo de culturas. Nosotros latinos contamos 5. Los
Okay,
anglosajones
so where are you
contan
from?
7.
Pero
God,
no,
where are you
pero
from?
no cambia. El nombre del continente no cambia. I want to let you guys know, you guys. I know him, okay?
¿Sabes por qué sí cambia?
Oh, you know.
No
Okay, so
cambia.
can you guys have this discussion in another live, in a more personal
Sorry.
live?
Yeah.
Cause
No, I come just for that. Thank you.
Okay.
I hope.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the insight and all
Thank you very
that. So we got a new guest here, Migni. or Mig Nasty, what do you think about the prompts? Should Mexican Americans wave the Mexican flag only at anti-stormtrooper or agent protests, or should they wave them both, the Mexican and the American?
What's up, guys? My name's Miguel. I'm over here in Arizona, and we've been having a lot of these, protests and stuff like that. I think ultimately the flag that should be predominantly waved is the American flag. And I'm Mexican American. I was born in the United States, so I'm American first, but I have Mexican culture, and I agree with, people trying to stand up for their culture. But ultimately, you're trying to stand up for your culture to live in the United States. So I think it's kind of like a two-part question almost. Is it, should Mexican Americans who are U.S. citizens that want to stand up for their culture and their people who technically, yes, they might be here illegally, but standing up for them as humans, which is, in my opinion, is right. Should they be waving American flags or Mexican flags? In my opinion, it's American because people want to be in the United States where that's the American flag.
Yeah, I agree. It should be both. Well, I personally don't promote that exactly. You could, but I promote waving both equally because, and then people are gonna mistake us for like pro Latinos for Trump and all that stuff. So, I would mostly suggest you just wave both equally. And then yeah.
To be honest, I don't agree with the equally part because people want to be in the United States. They want to try to live the American dream, and everything about the United States and America, that's the American flag.
Yeah, but we should not show that we have insecurities about being Mexican. Like we're still Mexican. We want to show that we're Mexican and
be
American.
Proud of your culture. Be proud of your culture. Yes, be proud of your culture. 100%.
We have a heritage of being Mexican. Like our ancestors were Mexican.
But but that's the problem with Latinos for Trump. They have issues. They have identity issues, man. That's what it is. So yeah, we don't want to relate anything. I don't care. I can be Republican, but no way Trumper. You know what I mean? As a Latino, that's a shame. So yeah, right now, and they've stolen the American flag. The Republicans with Trump, they think they're the only ones. They call themselves "We the People." They don't consider Democrats "we the people." That's how bad it is. That's how bad of a division there is right now within our own country. So to see the Mexican flag to me is the least of my worries right now. I see a division within because of stupid Trump.
Can I ask
That's
can
how
I
it
ask
is.
you a question, man? Did you vote for Obama?
Who are you asking?
You're talking about Mighty?
Did you vote for Obama?
Oh no, you're asking
No,
Sana.
I'm talking to Sana. Yeah, did you vote for Obama, man?
I did.
Okay. Do you regret your vote for Obama?
No, I was pissed because I lost my house and in 2008, and I'm glad he came on board because I was able to get a lot of
he
shit.
deported La Raza without due process. 3 million people, man. He
Yeah,
betrayed
true.
us.
The economy got way better.
Democrats are not catered to us, to us Mexicans
the
at all
economy,
whatsoever.
Sure,
the economy
was
crashed.
shit,
I hope you guys remember that in 2007, 2008.
Listen, man. I get it. Fucking Bush was a fool. One of the worst presidents we ever had, man. I get it. Did you vote for him the second time, though?
For the yes,
I could understand. So you voted for a guy
twice.
you voted for a guy knowing that he was deporting La Raza, and now you're getting upset at people for voting for a guy who they know is deporting La Raza. Do you see how that's
the border
problematic, man?
Let me fix it, Juan. Let me fix it. The fact that Border Patrol was effective and they were deporting those encounters at the border 2, 3, 4 times a piece made the numbers go up. That's the fact, though. He didn't deport the most. What it is that the Border Patrol was doing their job at the border, so every encounter counted.
There's literally video footage of Obama saying, "Don't come. If you come here illegally, you will be deported." There's video footage of him in 2008.
Because the Border Patrol was doing its job.
Let's be honest, okay?
It was
Now,
Obama who did that mass. He did
can
he
I
pushed
say
those mass
something, guys?
deportation
Can I
orders.
say? Can I? Let's be honest, okay? Not the Democrat Party or the Republican Party has showed respect to Mexicans, okay? I'm going to tell you guys what Obama did. He allowed everybody from Central America, South America, from various countries to come in with a permit while he gave zero to Mexicans. Okay, it was very, very little Mexicans that qualified. I think at some point in the year it was only 700. Okay, so they didn't. So, someone wrote good. Well, I'll tell you why it's not good. Okay, because although 10% of the Mexicans who migrate into the United States are the farmers, they are still 97% of the farm workers in Central California, which then translates into, I believe, like 90 something percent of the country's fruits and vegetables. Okay, so these are the people that matter, but these are the people that got nothing. Okay, Mexicans have the most people in the military. We got nothing, meaning that there's Mexican Americans who have gone overseas, come back with PTSD, who have fought in wars, and some of their parents are illegal. Okay, Mexicans for years and years and years have come to the United States and have worked hard. Okay, they have paid taxes that will never be given back to them. Okay, but the Venezuelans who have done nothing got permits to come here legally. Okay, so, with that being said, we're not being good neighbors to our neighboring country, which is Mexico. We're not being good to the immigrants that matter. Okay? So we're not showing respect by the Democrat Party or the Republican Party.
Why do
That's
you
why
think
I
that
tell
is?
all the Mexican Americans, I don't care what party you vote for. Okay? Uphold your fucking politicians to treat you right, to treat your people right with dignity and respect, and fucking demand dignity and respect for yourself and for your people. That's what real strength looks like. The sad part is we're
California.
so fucking brainwashed. We're so brainwashed to just go along. They question everything about you and you allow them to. They
That's what I'm
question
saying.
everything about you, and you have the fucking need to answer all their bullshit questions.
California, I got a question. Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think both Republicans and Democrats treat Mexicans that way?
Follow
Because
the money.
we're an easy
Because we
we're
don't
an
speak
easy
up. We're too used to
yeah
just keeping our mouth shut and just
we're
going to work. You know?
we're an easy target, and I've said this before. Mexicans are the perfect victim to the United States, and I'll tell you why. Because culturally we're told respect authority, right? They tell us that since little, right? Hey, cállate, cállate, cállate. Hazle caso al policía. Hey, be quiet. The cop is talking. Hey, when
Yeah,
adults
we
are
get that a
talking,
lot.
you be quiet. So all of that makes us maybe a bit submissive, maybe a little bit overly submissive, you know? So we become the perfect victim for someone que es ventajoso. How do you say ventajoso in English?
Advantageous.
And
Yeah, take
Americans
advantage of.
and
Uh,
Americans
yeah.
are very much so like that. Now, the Mexican attitude is not a bad attitude. It's a very beautiful, pure attitude, right?
Yeah, but don't you
Where
think the
we
attitude? You think the attitude has something to do with them treating Mexicans like that? Because when they see a bunch of Mexicans that don't want to, or a lot of Mexicans that don't want to become assimilated to the United States and only wave their flag, don't you think that in their heads might cross the thought of, if why are we going to make these guys citizens if they don't even want to learn English or even wave our flag? Is that the kind of citizens that we want here?
Well, are they saying that to the? You weren't here earlier when we were talking about this, but are they saying this to the Jewish people that went out there and protested in front of
God
UCLA?
damn, Heidi, I already told you. You
Damn, I
can't
forget.
say it.
I forget.
Okay, so no, Heidi,
Bro,
stop
but
comparing us to
I
YT people.
no, 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 no,
We
no. I'm
we
not
wait, hold
comparing.
up. Stop
I'm
saying
saying
the
we are
J
not the
word.
only people. I know. I keep forgetting about the
Wait,
J
stop
word.
comparing us to other people. The point is, if we're trying to
No,
get recognized by the U.S. government, we want our
the
policies to
point,
be recognized by
John.
them
The
and
point
agreed
is,
upon by them.
we're not the only
We need
people
to
who
come
have
to
protested.
consensus on one policy for
The
now.
point is, we're not the
We can
only
talk
people.
about the other ones, right?
Hold on. The
Amnesty for all
point is
undocumented
this.
Mexican and Latino immigrants. Stop the
Okay, Judge.
tariffs imposed on Mexico. Reparation for the damage that the Trump administration has done to the innocent migrants that were deported unjustly, undocumented migrants that were deported unjustly. Overturn NAFTA or revise to cater to Mexicans and Americans equally. Because right now NAFTA, the North American Fair Trade Agreement, that literally destroyed Mexico's economy. And then DACA's stupid policy, so the biggest counterproductive policy that was ever passed by Obama. Like literally, like we have a bunch of no sabos in Mexico already because of that, and they're not even U.S. citizens. So this is why I always push amnesty, amnesty, amnesty.
So the point, and to answer Fidel's question, is that there are many people who have protested with their flags and they don't get questioned the way we do, Fidel. So then we have to realize, is the question a tactic to rob us from who we are and to not stamp who we are in this country? You know, you weren't here earlier, but I was talking about, if we eliminate, let's say we eliminate all Mexican flags, right? So in this injustice and in this time period, 50 years from now, they can tell a history where, oh yeah, Americans fought for the Mexicans. Oh yeah, Caucasian people went out and took predominantly the fight against this injustice back in 2025, when in reality it was the Mexicans. But how are they going to tell a difference if we just go out there with American flags? So we need to have both. What I would like to see, though, is perhaps smarter signs with those Mexican flags. For example, when they do go out and protest, they should put fucking signs saying, see, this flag has left blah 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 trillions of unclaimed US taxes. You know, this flag has had millions of workers. This land is equivalent to 97% of the fruits and vegetables that are on your table right now. This flag represents people who have raised the American economy by this much. That's the kind of shit we need to start saying, so that
The
people
one thing
start
we
to
got,
relate that
California.
flag to positive things.
Let me throw this in here too. The one thing that we're not understanding is that the Mexican flag, the way let's say the undocumented, I know they're not the ones waving the flag. It's us, the Chicano, the Mexican Americans, waving that flag. I know it's not the undocumented. The undocumented don't have time to be out there striking or doing boycotts. They're working. So the ones that are waving the flag is mainly first, second generation U.S. citizens. But you know what the Mexican flag stands for? It stands for resistance. So that's all it is. It doesn't mean anything else. And you know, the educated YT citizen, they know this. They know the Mexican flag means resistance. And they know that those waving the Mexican flag are resisting to the American flag. So for some of these Mexican Americans waving the
That's
Mexican
too
flag,
hostile. Again, that's too hostile. The
I
U.S.
know,
government is
but
gonna look
I
at that
know,
and you say, "Oh, you see, they're not even proud. They don't even recognize their U.S.
Jaguar,
citizens, or they don't even
I'm
recognize
not saying I
their
agree.
first-class citizens,
Jaguar,
of the United States government." So
I
like, we
understand.
should justify
I
and pressure them
understand.
even more, and racially profiling them even
I
more.
I understand. I understand. I'm just telling you that the Mexican flag for some of these people waving it, it just means resistance. That's it. It just means they're fighting for a right because they're resisting themselves, like they have. Mexican Chicano community has fought resistance for centuries, and they haven't been able to erase the
And what have they
Mexican
done?
But
American
you know
culture.
Nothing.
what?
If any,
What have they done?
if anything, it keeps
We're
getting
literally in the
stronger
same.
and
We are in the
stronger.
same We're literally in the same problem. We have the same problem even to this day. Like, you get the point I'm trying to make. Like, all that stuff has been counterproductive. Just waving the Mexican flag and just screaming Spanish, in the streets. Like, we got to show that we're also Americans. We have to show that we have policies we want to push, and and in order to get those policies heard by the U.S. government, is to show that we're proud. We're also proud to be Americans. We're also
The
they're gonna
Mexicans
listen
are
to
paying.
us.
You know what?
They're like,
We're
oh, wait a
making
minute. They're
Mexicans.
actually
We're
willing
making.
to assimilate and be part of the community. They're gonna hear us
You
out.
know,
Hear
we're
us out
so
on the
greedy,
policies.
bro.
They're gonna hear
Jaguar,
us out on the policies. But
we're so greedy that we're making Mexicans pay for their success. Mexicans are succeeding. So whatever Mexicans are doing, it's working for them. It's us that are
is it
staying
really? I
behind,
mean, look at
and
what's
we're
going on.
getting
Look at what happened
greedy,
right now.
jealous.
Look what happened in San Diego.
We,
A huge mass raid happened in a sweatshop in San Diego. So, like, I don't know I don't see your
they're
point.
paying the consequence of being successful because they're paying the
How is that being
consequence of being
successful?
successful.
How is that being successful?
They're
You guys are
hardworking people. They're buying houses, Jaguar. They
no,
own
they're not.
businesses. They
They're not
own
even.
restaurants
They're not. They're
with no
undocumented.
documents.
They're undocumented. How
And
can
here, the
you?
Chicanos, we got nothing, bro. We got nothing to show for it, but hating them
What?
instead of uniting with them, instead of
With
learning what they're
who? With
doing
the
right.
Mexicans from
I'm not
Mexico?
saying we shouldn't have
Yeah,
solidarity with them. Yeah, cool. But like, my point is that as United
we
States
don't got nothing
citizens,
to show for, man.
we need to show
No,
them.
let's not fall into that because I don't agree with that, and I'll tell you why. 1.5 Mexicans in LA came out to fight against what's the deportations of Mexican people. These were mainly Mexican Americans. So we very much so stand up for our people. De que hay uno que otro, one here and there, que vale madre, who's, a dummy. Yes. But it's not most of us. Most of us will go out there and we'll fight for Mexican rights, in something that it's like never spoken, but
That's
it's
literally
something
what
that
I'm
we
for. Yeah, but how are we gonna get their rights? Get them their rights if they're not even willing to hear us out because we're waving just a Mexican flag. You get my point? We're
no,
not.
but who's they though? The Mexican people or white
The
people
U.S.
or the
government, the
government?
United States government, because again,
Yeah,
we're
that's
protesting
why
against the system right now.
that's
We're
what
talking
I'm
about the
saying.
system.
That's
So
what I'm that's what I'm saying. We gotta have I think we all agree that both flags need to be out there. But I do think that when you bring out the Mexican flag, you should bring it out with statements, maybe like followed by like a huge poster giving statistics of how much Mexico brings
yes,
in.
yeah, agree.
Remember, yeah, those
Okay.
are the small changes that we need
Yeah,
to
we
do.
got to we gotta alter our activism, our form of activism. It's outdated. We're literally
Yeah.
look ridiculous out there, bro. We
Hey,
look like
Misha,
Chicanos from the '60s, like literally in those videos and images. Like
hey,
we're in 2025. We got social media. We can do boycotts. We can sell out digital flyers, promoting boycotts. Going on strike. Doing more protests. You know, we gotta change. We gotta change how we're doing things. It's time because time is running out. The U.S. government is gonna figure out more and more ways to block our speech. You know. Um.
Hey, someone in the comments said California is full of illegals. And you know what else California is? The fifth largest
Oh yeah, it
economy
has
in
the
the
biggest
world.
economy. So
So,
that was
so that tells you
that was a
something.
little
Another important
dumb
fact
comment.
is that the poorest states in America are all Republican. The 10 poorest states in America are all Republican. Now, it's painful because that tells me the Republicans don't know how to legislate. Mississippi, Alabama, people with no teeth. What the heck, man? We're in the strongest economy of the world. How can we have Americans being toothless in Mississippi? You guys been voting red for 40 years and you still don't have your shit together. No education, no good health, and a lot of illegal candy there. You guys are an embarrassment, man, to this country. I'm serious. Look at the poorest states of the country. One of them is New Mexico. It's the only Democrat state that leaves the Democrats down because New Mexico, their economy sucks. It's among the 12 poorest states in the nation. All the other 11 states, they're all Republican. And they want to throw hate on California. To me, it's just jealousy.
Yeah,
They
and the
cannot
reason why I
believe.
make California, there are many reasons. You got Silicon Valley and super liberal. We're mostly have sympathy and for or for migrants and stuff like that. So yeah, like that was a really dumb, stupid comment to make. But I have a new guest. He's been silent for a while. He's a Japanese characters. You can introduce yourself if you want, or you can just go straight to the point. What do you think about the prompt? Do you agree or don't agree? Should Mexican Americans wave the Mexican flag only at anti-stormtrooper protests?
Yeah, I disagree with that. Obviously, I think most of us
Yeah,
agree. Like
cool.
you said, it should be both flags. But yeah, I know. The other guy said earlier the Mexican flag is like it means resistance, but we should like get away from that because we don't want to. What do you call it? Like
Yeah, it's too
keep
hostile.
building on that narrative.
Turn
Keep
that.
building on that
Yeah,
narrative that it's like us versus them and them versus us. Because I mean, at that point, they're right. I mean,
yeah. We look like
why would they
invaders.
want
We
us in their
literally look
country?
like invaders from Mexico. Like it's ridiculous. It hasn't gotten us
So like.
anywhere.
I forgot who said is like if we come out just with the American, which I don't agree either, but even so, like let's say if you just came out with the American flag, it's like you're supporting Trump. No, because Trump doesn't represent America, or like let's say
Yeah, I agree, but
because like
you gotta be honest. Like
regardless if it's
Latinos for
like
Trump did take that, aesthetic of just being super proud of being American. You know what I'm saying?
well, I really don't
So,
know because I haven't
and I
I don't
disagree
really
with him.
pay
They're also
I
just as bad as
don't really pay attention to
Democrats, Latinos
yeah
for
politics like that.
Democrats and stuff like that.
Yeah, but even if you were to just wave the American flag, which, like I said, I don't. Everybody represents America. Like, nobody can. How do you say it? Like,
I get what you say. There's not
fucking
one person that represents that flag. That
what
flag
this
doesn't
country
represent
is.
just one person.
Exactly. No, nobody could just come say, okay, this is what America represents. No, America was built more than 200 years ago. It had its values. It's not right now. Current administration is not reflecting
Oh, you're breaking up. Anonymous, you're breaking
what
up.
America was supposed
That's
to be built
sad. He
on. Right
was
now, it's
actually talking interesting
I'm
points.
good.
Let's see. You're.
Yeah,
Let
you're
me see
good
if
a
you're
little bit.
talking.
You can try to drop and come back if you'd like.
Hey guys,
Hello.
I gotta go. Thank you for the opportunity to be up here.
Yeah,
Have a
no
good.
problem.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I
thank
say a
you.
good night or good day, but thank you for
Yeah,
everything,
buenos
guys.
días.
Have a good one.
Buenos días, adiós.
Que pasen buen día.
Bye.
Yeah,
Igualmente.
Thank you. Bye.
adiós. Um, okay, so he's requesting backup. Hopefully that fixed it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's fixed.
Yeah, you sound better now.
But I don't. Okay. Yeah. So like California was saying that yeah we have a lot of veterans because obviously I think Mexicans are like the biggest group of immigrants in the United States by far. And like you said, I think even California is like majority Hispanic, and obviously the majority of that is Mexican. So yeah, Mexicans, not even Hispanics, just Mexicans in general, are like a big part of this country. But I think the difference with what she was saying, like with all these Irish and Italians and Germans and all that waving their flags, the reason why it's different is because I think in America, not only are Mexicans like the biggest group of immigrants there are, and most recent, I guess, because most of us came like in the 20th century, but like the later part. But it's just that it's that reluctance to assimilate, I guess, and a big part of that is being neighbors, I guess, and not being across the pond from Europe, right? But yeah, it's just that reluctance to like kind of embrace American culture. I don't know if it's like a racial thing too, because most Europeans are white and Anglo-Saxon people, they're like blue eyes and shit. But I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's like this like reluctance by Mexican people to assimilate into the country. We have. but because we have businesses and stuff, and like I said, we've served in the military, but there's
Yeah,
like this
we're
thing where
Mexican
we we
Americans.
we
Yeah,
yeah, we kind of put like it's still kind of Mexico first and then America second, while all the other people it's like America for sure first, and like this is my background. But Mexico is like, I don't know, it's like way more
Well,
intrusive, let's say.
do
yeah,
you
we come off
think
as
it has
hostile.
to?
We need to catch their ear. Well, that's all we
Do you
need
think?
to catch their
Do
ear. Make sure they can
but
hear us out. Sit down in a
do you
negotiation table and have tea with us. That's what we want at the end of the day.
do you think that it has to do with the fact that the West Coast was Mexico, and that after we lost the war, those Mexican people stayed here, so we've been here for
Yeah,
generations after
it's a
generations, you know? So
it's
we
a very
never.
that's what makes it
That's what I'm saying.
very complex because
Hmm.
the United States isn't just, oh, it was like a country, okay, yeah, France, whatever. No, the United States is a let's recognize is, you know, they didn't just take over Louisiana and then Texas and California and all that. They've taken over the world, right? So what I'm trying to say with that is like, yeah, yeah, they did, I guess, grab that part of Mexico, but like they didn't put importance into it. They were putting importance, you know, manifest destiny. They were putting importance into everything. They wanted the Philippines, they wanted Panama, they wanted everything. So it's like it, when they took all that land, I guess Mexicans weren't an immediate issue. Like they were like, okay, we take this land, it's our land now. They're invaders. Like if they want to stay, they can stay. They can leave. So, but I don't think they were ever given like this importance where like, okay, we gotta assimilate them, we gotta make them citizens. And I don't think the Mexicans in that land, you know, California, Texas, also had the, like this urge to like say, oh yeah, we have to adopt their culture, you know, the American culture and all that. So there's been like centuries of that division, and it's only gotten bigger with Mexican immigrants coming across the border and like, yeah, just I guess being harder for them to assimilate. But yeah, it is very complex. It's not an easy subject for sure.
Yeah, we gotta
But
put
that
the
has to do
effort
with
though
it.
to assimilate. We have to catch their ears at the
And
end of
them
the
having
day.
to grab
It's all
our
about the
land, you know,
policies.
Texas and California for
We
sure.
gotta change up our ways of activism. Like it's
Hello?
ridiculous. Like yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like again, like when we go out on these peaceful protests, because I do not condone violent protests at all whatsoever. We got to have those letreros, those signs, those picket signs, you know, that says nothing but policies, data, statistics, you know, how we contribute to the U.S. economy. That shows the numbers, how we contribute to that, and you know, amnesty for all undocumented Mexican and Latino immigrants. That's the main one we should push. We do not cater to any political party. We are trying to interact with just the U.S. government, you know, the whatever, whoever's part of that administration. You know, right now it's the orange man, unfortunately. And even if it's Democrats, it doesn't matter. They're just as bad. Um, but yeah, I guess I would just leave it to freestyle. I mean, yeah, I feel like I've said my monologue. I finished up my monologue on this live. Um, thank you guys for bearing with me. I mean, yeah. Fidel, Womp, Heidi, you guys can add something.
Hey, I want to add something from the comments. Sorry, you guys, but there's someone in the comments saying when Italians came to the US, they learned English. When the Irish came to the United States, they learned English. That's not true, lady. As a matter of fact, Mexicans and the Irish were discriminated so much that a book was made that if you read it one way, it would bash on Mexicans, and that if you read it the opposite way, it would bash on Irish people. And they were considered the lowest class of all the white people during that time period. And what you said about Italians and the rest of Europeans that you listed there is not true, because the real gang started back in those days with those people, those very same people that you freaking mentioned. So what are you talking about? You seem to have a lot of entitlement with a lot of ignorance. You need to go back to school. That's all I need. That's all I wanted to say. Are you closing now?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna close at it's 4 o'clock
Good
in the
night,
morning.
everyone.
Yeah, buenas noches. Fidel, any last words?
No, I'm good.
Alright, want any last words? I think you're bad. But anyways, buenas noches, amigos. Again, we gotta push that policy Azteca amnesty for all undocumented Mexican and Latino immigrants. We gotta push policies. Look what Trump did. How did he get elected in his first term? He pushed the one policy, build the wall. And Mexico's gonna pay for it. We gotta have our own policies too. But anyways, guys, it was a nice live. Thank you for bearing with me, and buenas noches. And Chamber Jaguar signing off.